Hello, everybody. I have no idea what that opening sequence sounds like because I haven't watched it in a very long time. I think I've seen it once. I guess I could probably just go watch the VODs and we could do it now and enjoy it all together. Let's go watch it. The previous VOD of me playing on Tuesday. We'll watch that for 4 hours rather than play any more game. What fun that would be. Hi, I'm Beej. This is Play It Forward. I have a glass of Earl Grey tea that's ice cold. It's been making cold tea in my fridge. Play It Forward is here on the Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network, and we are playing Betrayal at Krondor. In fact, I can prove it, because here it is! We're playing Betrayal at Krondor, continuing to play Betrayal at Krondor, in fact, because we are in Chapter 1, but we are walking backwards through the game at this point. We've done a lot to start with. We've done a lot of duping, we've done a lot of barding, we've done a lot of haggling, we've done a lot of pounding our armor and whetting our swords. And now we are into Zone 5 of the game, which is a place that you normally would not go. Reading a bit of the old Betrayal at Krondor help web, and I mean old Betrayal at Krondor help web. We're doing this off of the of archive.org in the Wayback Machine. Let's see if I can post what I've got here. This is where I'm working off of at the moment. This is there was a note that said the first time that you go into a sector or a zone that isn't 1 or 2, because 1 or 2 is the way that you... This is the Days Before Wikis, yes. Before you go into any other zone, the first fight you'll have in like Zone 5 or Zone 3, because those are the immediate ones you can access. The fight that's in there from that side is way harder than you will expect it to be, because it's trying to discourage you from going off into a zone that maybe you don't want to go into, right? Because you're like, what if I just walked around? It's like, well, what if we made it really hard and maybe you die and you're like, it's not worth doing that fight then at that point. So yeah, that's kind of cool, I think. They thought ahead of a means to dissuade you from doing stuff they don't want you doing. So we're here in Eld Point, and I believe this was the tavern. Yep. Probably can't bard. Yep, we already barded. I believe we have sufficient rations. Oh, we've got sufficient rations, all right. Everything is going fine. We even found money at the bottom of a barrel, despite the fact that maybe we shouldn't have been like looking for money at the bottom of a barrel. There is a store of goods in there. This is a pretty big place, and look, there's a dude on the road. You wouldn't know it because that's a room. Do we go fight these guys, or do I look around a little more? Maybe look around a little more first. Well, I should also say, yeah, if you are joining us from Twitch, then great. If you are watching this on our VOD channel, youtube.com/loadingreadylive, I believe is our Loading Ready Run Streams channel on YouTube, then welcome, glad to see you. You can subscribe to our memberships, the YouTube memberships on the main channel. You just got to go to youtube.com/loadingreadyrun, and there are memberships you can join through there if that's a way you'd like to give us some money to support us. On Twitch, people, of course, are subbing here and giving bits, and we appreciate that as well. And then there's also Patreon, patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. That is where also some money comes from you guys, and we appreciate that as well. I should also mention the store.loadingreadyrun.com, where you can buy stuff, all sorts of merch that we make. And if you're feeling particularly into the whole, reading of things and whatever, like we used to, I should mention before we read this, the Kickstarter we did a while ago, the Year of Lure Kickstarter, the DVDs for Season 11, the Blu-rays for Season 11, those are available now. And if you need to update your address to say that you would like your DVDs or your Blu-rays, you should be getting emailed if you were part of the tiers that should have gotten fulfilled on that. So keep an eye out in your inbox. If you're using a new email address, that becomes a problem, but we can still confirm identities and stuff. And go check your email boxes, see if anything's caught in there. Write the store back and let them know that they have your right address. Or I don't think they're actually sending the addresses. You're basically going to just I think you have to just send them your address, and they'll confirm that and make sure that it's marked in the system to be ready to send out. And then, once everyone's got, we have a lot of people coming back with all that, they're going to be able to start sending DVDs out fairly quick. So I'm looking forward to that. They're not waiting for everybody to come in. They're just like, once they got to sift through everybody's emails that are coming through right now. And so if they just keep coming in, then you'll get there. So anyway, the stupid man who came to the door. I don't know. It's like, is it Old English? Is it stupid? Stooped. I imagine he is stooped as opposed to stupid. The stupid, the man who came to the door, was wiping his hands in a stained cloth. Welcome to Eld Point. Have you come to buy a pot? Very fine quality, the man said with a broad smile. Yes, I'm sure they are, but we are travelers and will have no use for such items. We don't need to eat. What can you tell us of your town? Asked Locklear. The man put down his rag, rubbed his forehead with the back of his arm and wrist. Well, there's a general store called Goods and an inn called the Royal Bed. A few houses here and there, nothing out of the ordinary. Why? Shaking his head slightly, Locklear said, no reason, just curious. Thank you for your time, sir. Good day. That told us nothing. There's a well. That's cool. What's in the well? Barely hear them. Drink from it. That's a drinking sound. And so now, back on the road, we're going to go back the way we came. Kind of. There were some dudes out here. Right? No one has lived in that one. We're going to attack. And I know it's weird for anyone who's watching. The whole process of clicking red on these things is to turn on focus for them so that I will gain more experience in the things that I'm focusing on. And we do this a lot when we're playing the game at the beginning because I'm trying to get them up as high as I can right away so that when they are sufficiently high enough, I won't have to come in here and do that anymore. Hey, can I ask you to try the assess button here if they're chumps? I'm curious what it does exactly. The assess button. None of these is the assess button, so their advantage was lost. Holding up a hand to halt the advance, Locklear contemplated a new course of action while his stomach tied itself in knots. Many times as he had found himself in a fight, he would never quite shake the strange feeling he was about to die. I guess the scale. Well, first what we're going to do is try not to lose Owen's last ability to do anything. Locklear is going to assess this dude. Locklear studied his opponent. While it's possible he could be grossly misjudging some of the troll's abilities, he was absolutely convinced about certain facts. Speed was 5, melee was 70%. Now, Gorath has the tuning fork. So these were trolls. See, I I blinded that guy, but when I hit the tuning fork, he didn't just run pell-mell to like another location. Let's see if I can hit anybody. Hit him. Most of them are going to run away. Yeah. It does make me wonder if it's even worthwhile trying to hit a lot of these guys. So why are they running? Thraxmore asked. Well, we were given a earlier. We found a tuning fork on an enemy that we killed, and when you play the tuning fork, these guys hate it. That's not bad, and they just want to run away at that point. Oh, well, some guys are still escaping. That guy's gonna escape. Let's see here. We're doing pretty good on that guy, so we'll just try to lock him in place. And at least if I can kill one dude, we'll see if they actually end up carrying anything that's interesting or not. And we want that. So I've shot these guys many times. I'm just gonna let Owen rest because why not? That was like 100 hit points. Health 58, stamina 59, melee 52. That's a lot. Like at least 4 arrows, 5 arrows I put in them. So search the one guy we killed for supplies. And Locklear's abilities have gone up. Let's have a look to see what they were. Defense and accuracy crossbow, that's good. Nobody else's went up. I imagine assessment is even more particular. Yeah, they don't have anything. So trolls are probably not that interesting a foe in this, and having the tuning fork is a really good idea. Eld point? Eld point. And here's a place. Abandoned. Was a tavern, now abandoned. And probably just going to see that, yeah. There might have been methods to avoid them if you didn't pick up the tuning fork at some point. I don't know what they would have been. Here's another road that maybe leads somewhere. Oh, that's cool. Leave that on. Yep, everyone's still got their stuff on. It's another troll attack. Gorath plays the tuning fork. I should have probably used assess on all these guys, actually. That would have been good. 53. 64 and 4. And goodbye. Oh, I forgot to read what happens when they fled. South to Dimwood. Okay, so that's the Dimwood thing. We're not going that direction. And we have a shop. Scavenger's meat. That's all they do. Cast-offs, forgotten trinkets and lost items, which few would want or need to reclaim. Here it seemed that tarnish and rust were the things that were prized, the items to which they clung of only secondary value. It's funny because they're all still 100%, so it's like, alright, that's something, but largely, yeah. We can probably find anti-venom. I'll haggle on it, why not? Sure, we'll take... I think this stuff stacks? I'll take one just in case. If we run into a problem, then we don't have to worry about it. Assess also gives us the name of enemies, which might end up being fun. Yeah, this game is definitely for its time. It is a big deal. Like this was this surprised a lot of people in its uh, in its quality. It doesn't. It's kind of like you don't expect that. You don't expect to see a game like this, right? Can we get in? A pretty woman answered the door. After the appropriate introduction, she allowed them entry to her small but well-decorated home. Discovered her name was Sarah Halfgate, and that her husband was a trader away on business. "Come looking for a bag of grain. Perhaps you could help us," inquired Locklear. The woman seemed hesitant. "Well, sirs, I have several bags of grain here, but my husband would be very angry if we found them missing upon his return. I could perhaps spare a single bag if you could help me find a present for the Midsummer Festival." "I'm not sure how we could help," said Locklear. "He's been talking about wanting a pair of leather leggings. If you could find such a thing, I'll give you a bag of grain. Do we have a deal?" "Yes?" Locklear searched their packs. "I'm sorry," he said. "I spoke too soon. I'm afraid we don't have any leather leggings." "I see," said the one. "Well, please come back if you find some." They promised they would and bid her farewell. Okay, so now we have part of that fetch quest. We know where we have to get at it. It's a wooden barn, and wow, smells like a wooden barn. And we're going north. Because I'm pretty sure you can't get behind any of those mountains and stuff, eh? I mean, maybe there's something behind here. Guess not. All right, moving on. North to this little house in the middle of whatever. Locklear's knock was answered by an old man whose wrinkled appearance stood in sharp contrast to the military straightness with which he carried his body. He introduced himself as Irlan, former swordmaster of Highcastle, and went on to regale them with stories of his victories and conquests through the years. They listened with great interest, especially when he talked of some of the more recent border skirmishes he had been made aware of. Finally, exhausted by storytelling, the old man excused himself to take a nap. That was it. That's all that happened. Now, his head was in the clouds. No, let's see here. Her husband never came home. Virginia Eklund. Manic Eklund, his company was killed in the Northlands. Constance Frohmeyer had 12 kids. The 13th killed her. Luke Midkiff. Soon the gods will know his name. Bradford Eklund. He made his parents proud. A lot of Eklunds over here. Rue Beale died in her favorite red dress. Oh, wait. That's Rue Beale. Ruby. Sure. Just a body. Why was his head in the clouds? Just a body. It's probably all that. I don't know if there's going to be a shade. Maybe. Just a body. Aha! Smoke seeped from the earth. Backing away from the defiled grave, Goretz watched in horror as the smoke began to whirl into a sparking maelstrom. Now, can you despair thy eyes with these guys? I'm not sure if it works or not. I mean, it made a sound, but who knows? Do quarrels work? They appear to do damage. It's a shade. 39, 5, 45%. So 2 more arrows should probably do it, if we're lucky. And he hasn't moved. So my guess is Despair Thy Eyes worked. There we go. Locklear blinked. Despite the fact that the creature had disappeared, he was wary to drop his guard, but a quick survey of the area revealed that it was nowhere in sight. I think it's gone, he said. Let's get moving again. There. Now everyone gets to see what happens when you dig up a grave and find something that maybe you didn't want to find. We already dug that one up, so that's fine. And Gorath took like 20 odd damage from that. So let's see, what else is along here? If we go back west, that takes us back towards Eld Point. Ooh, what's north of here? High Castle. Oh. Locklear heard a sound. Ah, ambush. Trolls. Well, might as well use that assess skill. 31, 51%. Stamina 55, strength 33, defense 58. Gorath. Owen. Speed 4. 55, 5, 33, 70%, 58%. There is a man indeed to meet in the High Castle. Guess just keep assessing these guys while they run away, because actually, I forgot. Right, when you're in combat, all healing you do is to 100%. If I remember correctly. Like, you can literally just camp in a combat and get better. High Castle. A grim reminder of the conflict between the Kingdom of the Isles and the nations of the North, High Castle drew its name from the heavy stone fortifications built on a tor which guarded the frontier town. To the distant north loomed Cutter's Gap, one of the few gaps in the wall of mountains known as the Teeth of the World. There's a shop, there's a tavern, there's a place to enter, there's another place to enter, there's a third place to enter, there's that, and then there's an exit. Let's click over here. Rain slanted out of the sky, squiffing through the muddy pass. Locklear stared miserably at the broken remnants of a bridge which had once spanned High Castle Gorge. Blinking rain out of his eyes, he looked to Owen. The bridge has been sabotaged, he spat. 3 days of this back to High Castle, unless you have any other ideas. Owen scowled and shook his head. I don't know what would be gained by turning back into the Northlands. I think it just as well the way is blocked. I have my reasons, Locklear shot back, angry that the trip into a waste of time. Let's head back to High Castle. So we can't do that until they repair anything. Let's go to a shop. The Battleworks has a repair. That might be nice. So these guys sell lots of stuff. Goblin sticker. Again, nowhere near as nice as that greatsword is, or even the Keshian Tapir. Standard rapiers. Within the kingdom, the rapier was considered the weapon of experts and fools. Smaller bladed than classical broadswords, it demanded a great deal of skill and concentration to use. Its primary strategy depended on its sharpened point rather than on its hacking edge. Fair enough. And a goblin sticker. More than just a peasant's weapon, the goblin sticker was made to be wielded by hearty men accustomed to heavier blades. Numerous hammer marks were visible in the iron grade. Evidence the weapon had likely been forged with only a few hours' notice before a goblin raid over kingdom borders. All right. Let's have a look here. Right. We already looked at that thing. Aha. Got there. So this dragon plate armor. It was simply the best armor ever made by human hands. An articulated breastplate with a sliding rivet arrangement and interior quilted arming doublet to soften sharp impacts. Slip catches beneath the arm gussets for quick suiting. The breastplate was a marvel both to wear and to look at. There's also Yuliliko armor. Commissioned by Earl Kasumi for his Lemutian soldiers. Design was a surrounding improvement over Kingdom armor, where we talked about this already. And then there's, of course, Great Tower Plate, which currently Locklear is wearing. But as you can see from the relative price, this is the good stuff. And they've got that. And Chapel's armor and weapons. I thought it was Chapel's rumor and weapons when I first saw it, but yeah, it's armor and weapons. Even with a cursory glance, you could tell this book was rife with spelling errors, apparently much to the vexation of a previous reader. Large sections of the document had been struck through and rewritten in a more elegant hand in the margins of the book. So, this is a good book to have, because this will be good for armor craft and weapon craft. The thing I don't know is... we need to turn on haggling for this, obviously. The thing I don't know is, can I get it anywhere cheaper than here? Is it worthwhile waiting to get it any cheaper than here? Dragon Plate, I'm pretty sure I can find on the road. I think. Let's make sure only haggling is that. So let's see what I can get this book for. Nothing. I do like that the armor, like we sell a lot of whatever here. $437 down to $415. Nah, we can do better than that, I think. Yes, you toggle skills by clicking. You click the blade of the sword, click the hand. I'm always used to clicking the handle, so I always go over to the handle to click it. But you can basically click anywhere along the blade and do it too. I'm just what I'm used to. Let's see. 415. Maybe you can't come down that much more. What is the actual price of this book? Let's see here. I mean, it's available in 3 different... it's available in 3 different shops, so it might... might be beneficial to just wait. I know I'm just sitting here thinking, and that sucks for the for the show overall, but all right, let's see where you can buy this book. Chapels is available. That's a weird thing to say. That here's all the places you can... Bought means here's the places you can sell this book, and it's like, what? Okay, so it's available in North Warden and High Castle and Darkmoor. And frankly, North Warden's the cheapest, so maybe I'll just go there. And armor, if I want a dragon plate armor, in North Warden, High Castle. Okay, so it's only available here in the north anyway. So North Warden's probably the place to go. Looks like. But we can repair stuff, I think, couldn't we? There's a repair option. The shopkeeper whistled. When he chooses to show up, the tinker whole thing. Yeah, let's have a look. What do you want to repair here? Is it worth repairing some of this armor? Maybe not. Maybe it isn't. No, maybe it's not worth it. So, tavern is a good idea. Barmaid. A couple dudes to talk to. Let's do the barmaid. Just flat prices in here. That's good. Turn on barding. I know I don't need to turn on Owens, but whatever. And there's the bard. Yeah, Blue Buddha, because I can just make money. I know it feels like, well, why bother? But at the same time, I'm also like, well, I feel like there's more fun in trying to haggle stuff, and also there's more fun in trying to look for stuff. To be like, man, because we found that Grey Tower plate, and didn't that feel amazing to be like, oh my god, we found this thing in the bottom of Sarth that we normally wouldn't have been able to get into if it wasn't for like being able to pick that lock. And yeah, only 55 sovereigns here. Oh well. Yeah, the music's different sometimes. Despite the fact that light was dim and pooled only in shallow corners, the mood within seemed cheerful as the tavern keeper animatedly related tales of mischief, reaping gales of laughter from people who had most likely heard his story dozens of times. So this guy. Locklear cleared his throat. Glancing up from the business of cleaning his fingernails with a boot knife, the man regarded them frostily, motioning with the tip of his knife for them to quickly make their business known. That's a very nice knife. Keshin, isn't it? Locklear commented carefully. Where did you chance to purchase it? The man smiled, showing uneven brown teeth. Who said I bought it? Ah, Graz said, taking hold of Owen's shirt sleeve. Well, I think my companion here promised me a drink before we came in, and I think it's well nigh time I collected on. Good day to you. Perhaps we can speak again. Or not. This guy. And this is the freebooters thing again. Ah, I see, yes. So talk about that. Yes. There's this guy. The failed love affair with a married woman. Yep. You've run across that again. So let's have a look here. There's these three dudes. There's the barmaid. There's the inn. And there's barding. And we are going to go to the inn. 5 sovereigns for the night. Don't louse his beds. Let's heal everybody up. Yes. Yep. They scan the pages. Oh. He was puzzled by a red circle had been drawn around their false traveling names. Sure. One more night. It's funny because when that happens, it's kind of like, am I going to be... Is that going to be a thing? So... am I going to get like robbed or rumbled by somebody? Like what's going to happen here? Let's have a look. How much do I have for these guys? I got 2 and I got 2, and maybe we'll just buy them some rations. You can just have all 14. Give your 2 to Locklear. And just buy 14 for you. Ah, shit. Right. Forgot I already did that. Do it again. Shouldn't have bothered putting them there. 14. Put those 2 on Locklear. It'll be fine. Great. Acts of Shimada Garrison still need, or accounts of Shimada Garrison still need to get through that. Actually, what can I do while I'm in here? Okay. Can we repair a crossbow while we're actually in the talking to the barmaid? Just sitting around in the. You sure can. Didn't expect that. Get some more Aventurine though, but that's fine. I guess I could have duped a whole bunch of it a while ago, but whatever. The Maricat mentions that just woke up and got the latest checkpoint. No, my vaccine shot isn't kicking my ass too hard. Yesterday, I got it on Tuesday. Wednesday was when I noticed that it was just kind of like, I can. You have those days where you're like, oh, I have a hard time concentrating on very long tasks. I just felt tired and needed a nap and had a nap and then came out of the nap. I was like, I'm still tired. Oh, well. And so that was, there's just like, I'm tired and I don't want to do a lot, or I can't really. I couldn't play Hades, for example. I was like, could I even bother trying to play Hades? I'm like, no, I can't. I know I'm not going to be very good if I try. So I'll play a little Animal Crossing and then watch a bunch of YouTube and stuff and just kind of like do that. And it was, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So anyway, we have. It says enter. These might all be the same enters, but we're going to at least try some of them. So let's try enter here. Soldier let them in. Following the swirling tail of the man's white tabard, they were escorted into a well-appointed study with large windows overlooking the marshalling yard of the castle. Seated in the casement just below it, a large man was watching the activities below with an absorbed fascination, occasionally scribbling down notes on a piece of parchment on the side. Baron Kevin, these men asked to be shown in. The soldier announced, shall I leave you? The red-haired man nodded, motioning for them to take seats a little more conventional than the one he currently occupied. What can I do for you, gentlemen? I'm afraid Baron Trovel isn't here. It's quite all right. We are looking for insights about a possible attack on High Castle, Locklear started. Have you seen anything unusual recently? Have I? Kevin said with a laugh, his blue eyes twinkling. I see unusual things every day. You don't work in a frontier fort and lead a boring life, you know. After relating several amusing stories, the Baron mentioned that an important bridge had collapsed to the north of Cutter's Gap, possibly stranding several goblins on the kingdom side of High Castle Gorge. They are likely to begin attacking traveling merchants for food. If you are heading in that direction, I'd advise watching my step if I were you. If you happen to stumble across those goblins, I'd appreciate if you brought us back some evidence they were around. We might be passing that way, Locklear said with a shrug. We don't exactly have an itinerary. If we don't know where we're going, then the people who are trying to silence Gorath here won't know either. I understand, the Baron said, favoring Gorath with a doubtful look. Be careful in your journeys. Okay, so goblins find some evidence? Enter. Let's see. Tick, 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 tick. Still Baron Kevin. Yeah, they just marked 3 different things. So we'll go to North Warden and buy some stuff there. And if everything works out on the way to North Warden, I might just find Dragonplate armor from like some dudes wandering around. And we'll be in good shape. Ting. Get that scouting back on. Just want to roll down in this thing for stuff to keep look out for. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So this is the, let's get off that road piece. High Castle. This goes back west. Let's just have a brief look to see if there was anything along the road that I might have missed. I don't see anything. And in the south, I don't see anything. Nothing behind here. And we'll camp for a bit. That's the marker for northwest of High Castle, southeast of Dimwood, northeast to North Warden. Okay, well, I guess we'll go along here. I really did. Oh, Locklear fretted. Miles away from the objective he knew they should be pursuing, he managed to assuage his nagging concerns by noting the fact that there had been fewer assassins in their way since they had taken the diversionary route away from Krondor. Inevitably, they would, of course, head to the Prince, but in his gut, he knew none of the assassins would have suspected them to head into the hills south of High Castle. We've probably come far enough east to have thrown any other assassins off the track. You have a better idea of what Delicon would throw at us. Gorath, what do you think? I think that if I were he, I would hunt us in the same way that one hounds a fox. You chase him and snap at his heels, all the while driving him out of fear into his hole. And in this instance, the hole is Krondor. If he doesn't already suspect our destination, he can't stay unaware of it for too long. But he couldn't lay his trap for us in Krondor itself. Even a large contingent of elves there is enough to stir up a ruckus. I suspect a trap immediately to the north of our objective. That would be most prudent. Well, we kind of ran into Nago, right? And we ran into like a weird actual trap. The game is reminding us we have a mission, but also we would not have tripped this if we hadn't been working our way east of High Castle. So the guys who wrote the game didn't just put in a thing to say, "Hey, by the way, you're not on your thing." I think what happens here is that if you're headed this way, it kind of, you know, gives you a sense of here's a hint as to what to look out for. That might have been the case. I think I'd have to agree. Slipping in at night from the southeast would probably be the best way in. I'll at least keep it in mind as we travel. So it's almost like it's saying, you're going to do this, well, have at her. This sounds like the thing that you're planning on doing, so go nuts. So, yeah. Oh, there's a field. I love running into fields in games, especially like more pastoral games, like medieval feeling games. The one thing that has bugged me about Breath of the Wild is that that kingdom got overrun with people, and everyone's kind of like trying to build back what they need to for like settlements and whatnot. And there's a lot of settlements in that game, way more I think there's ever been in a Zelda game before. But there isn't a lot of farming. Like there's people who are like planting gardens and stuff and subsisting on what they can, like they plant a large enough garden to kind of good work for them, but also for maybe a couple people as well. But there's no other food. You guys don't have fields. And I can understand why, because there's monsters everywhere, but at the same time, like that seems to be a real challenge. Like everyone's kind of really doing subsistence right now to a point where it's like you might not make it through the winter, or who knows, right? All right, doesn't seem there's anybody about. Why? It is morning. I don't know if that's going to have anything to do with anything. So the corn's always young, no matter when you pick it. The corn is always young, so that's fine. Where are we in reference to the? Maybe let's go behind here and see if there's something. There's nothing behind here. Let's work our way east. No. Sometimes you just run into an invisible wall. Oh. Oh. What's this? Put a bookmark down. The stench of death hung heavy about the small tent. Locklear pulled back the entrance flap, his breath held tightly in his chest. The decomposing body of a man lay slumped on the dirt floor amidst a variety of wood and metal tools. Looks like a miner, Locklear said quickly, trying not to breathe in through his nose. Let's see if there's anything in here we can use. Well, he had some money, so let's steal it. He had some spoiled rations, not going to take those. He had a shovel. It was smelled awful, covered with a strange green mold. The implement was rickety, its fractured length had together with an assortment of rusty nails. However, it had been used recently. It had seen better times. That's a new writing for that. And once the rations had been edible or even appetizing, the stench wafted from the open parcel was more than enough to turn Locklear's stomach. It could not be eaten. So yeah, the I got everyone talking about being able to grow food for themselves now in different video games. It's like, and it's why I like being able to see um, agriculture, or at least other means of, like, one thing I loved about Breath of the Wild is that there are travelers who are moving between towns, and you can meet them again and again as you continue to play. Oh, what's this? Locklear approached the wooden stump cautiously, seeing that it was hollow. He looked inside. A raccoon! No, just a cheap-ass brooch. Actually, how are we doing on... We're doing pretty good on quarrels and stuff. I think we're okay. And yeah, so I really liked the fact that was in the game. Okay. Maybe what we do is talk to... Oh, there's lots of houses along here. Okay, let's start from the first one we see. Where are we on the map? This looks like a town. This is Wolfram. This place was abandoned. It used to be an inn, but it has been abandoned. Let's just actually have a look in the barn then. Nope, it makes my eyes water. Spin around a lot here, sorry. Place is abandoned. We'll get to where we're going, and I'll have lots of crap to get out of my... Aha! Knocking on the wooden door, luckily read the small, intricately carved sign that hung from it. The sign said, "Enter with joy in your hearts, that it may fill our house." A young woman answered his knock, and behind her, Locklear could see several small children. Also visible was a man seated at a small table, scratching carefully on a piece of yellow parchment with a quill pen. He glanced up as they entered. Yes? After the necessary introductions, the man told them he was a scribe, and that he was working on an important document for Baron Gabo at North Warden. Though he wouldn't show it to them, Locklear guessed that it was an official account of the increased Mordor activity in the Northlands. They thanked the man and left him to his work. Alright. People have other jobs. Alright, so that's a tavern. And we should just, let's talk to other people. Walk around and waste a little more time. Locklear knocked on the door. It seemed a bit larger than normal, and when the owner of the house answered, he could see why. The man stood as tall as Gorath, a revelation that man and Mordor both seemed to find unsettling. "My name is Murphy. How can I help you, gentlemen?" "My name is Murphy." Staring up at the man, Locklear replied with another question. "What can you tell us about Wolfram?" Shrugging his massive shoulders, Murphy looked off towards the other buildings in town. "Well, the Wolf's Teeth is just down the road if you're looking for some food and drink. They got weapons at the Arms of Dala. It used to be an inn, but it closed down. We use it for hangings now. That's my job." Locklear swallowed a bit harder than he intended, then thanked the man for his information and left. For all the hangings we do. We take them to the inn and then hang them. This place is abandoned. I'm getting a feeling that Wolfram is not a thriving community. Arms of Dala. No one's knocked. No one's. Oh, that was a house. No one seems to be about. This might be the Arms of Dala. Yep, that's a shop. And yeah, I love that it shows you in a lot of these places that red shield that goes with the dragon plate, but it's like, you don't sell dragon plate here. We just happen to have that on the wall. You know what? Let's try to get rid of the Sword of Kinir. I mean, is it worth selling here, actually, now that I think about it? I don't know. Well, it's probably worth selling some of these things. Oh, they don't like these here. I mean, money is money, though, right? Let's see. Ha! Well, that's right. That's why you wait. That's why you wait. I'm gonna just drop a bookmark actually first. There's no repairing or whatever in here, but oh yeah, it's 50%. Don't forget though, we can repair stuff. And after we're done repairing it, if we want it in even nicer shape, we can definitely just take it to a place and have them repair it to 100%. That'll cost us money, but you know, it cost us money. Show me your money. Could even sell my Grey Tower plate. That's 100%. Anyway, who's got room? At this point, I feel like I don't care if I get 3 royals for that, or 3 royals for that, even like, yeah, a few sovereigns for that. The rubies are probably maybe worthwhile to try to sell somewhere else to get better money out of them, but yeah. Let's see here. Haggle. 625. 500 sovereigns. So let's have a look at this, right? Elven armor. 25%. Racial mods for elf. That's pretty good. Let's get rid of that. Dragonplate armor. Repairable. How about that? It was simply the best armor ever made by human hands. We talked about this. 55%. That is 30%. 500 for this. This was like 1,600 for this back in the other shop. Choice. Racial mod human, so he takes a bit of a hit for wearing that. Who cares? And we're going to get rid of that as well. 29 sovereigns. And I'm just going to drag one of those onto Owen. Like, I don't know if I could even make money, right? Like, that's the issue. And so we're going from 100%, which has 40%, but we're going to 50%, 55% rather. I can just sell this right here, and that's fine. Like, 84 sovereigns. And you know what? I'll just hang on to that until we get to Northwarden and sell it for some decent money. Because why not? Also, Owen's Armorcraft's coming along. Like, it's repairable. Oh, 61%. If I had Chapel's armor and weapons, I could be doing an even nicer job of this, but whatever. We'll get there. 80%? $76%. Not bad, not bad. Gonna have to... Right, we're using up hammers. That's what we're doing here. Counts of Shamata Garrison. Let's give Gorath all the books. That'll make them very easy to tell them apart. So, that's good. That's really rad. The shop has these things available. I don't need any of this stuff. Like, being able to buy cheaper crossbows, obviously, was the surrounding heavy crossbow, right? So we know the Elven crossbow is good. This is a heavy crossbow, does more damage. Doesn't shoot as accurately as the Elven crossbows do. So it all depends on how are you gonna what do you want to like balance? Do you want to actually, do you want to buy like a do you want to actually hit guys all the time? Or do you buy the Elven crossbow now so you can actually hit guys while you're still getting better, and then eventually when you don't worry about, like, I'm shooting at like 100%, 95% accuracy all the time, change to a different crossbow, do more damage all the time. We are very, very close to needing to take a break. We're like 30 seconds away from that. Yeah, I'm going to go to Northwarden and sell some of this other stuff. This is a medium crossbow, 15 and 5. Yeah. Not much. Yeah, we'll get to the other place, and then that'll be fine. We'll get to Northwarden and go from there. So when our party eventually gets changed up, can we transfer gear to the new members? We haven't talked about this yet. The answer is no. Anything that is currently on your guys is theirs. You can't send stuff to somebody else. So yes, that sucks. So what do? Well, you could buy an extra piece of armor right now, keep it on somebody else, and then when we get through the whole game, like we get back to Krondor, and then I end up getting new people in chapter 2, I put the newer arm, I give them newer armor or whatnot. Or uh yes, box with a note, stash the gear. That's a good idea too. That also means though having to do that in an area that I have access to. Um and that's complicated because it means that then I have to warp to this location to do it. But we were going to look for like a good box that's near some stuff to be able to like dump books and stuff in. And probably when we finish our run, we'll do that. But remember, we can also warp between temples. So if there's a temple near enough to this place, it might be worthwhile to warp here in chapter 2 real fast, pick up whatever like cheap gear that we need from this store, so we can get it repaired, and then like warp out of there back to where it is we're actually trying to go. Now, I don't know where the nearest temple is to this place, but it's got to be around wherever. Now, I've also remembered that Arms of Dala, because they have all this cheap stuff, I think there's a temple nearby, because I also think there's a what I was told or what I've read from the thing is at some point you'll probably just want to come here, buy a bunch of the really like cheap 50% gear, and then go to another store during chapter 3, I think, or during chapter 4, like one of the two. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's chapter 3. Repair all the stuff, go into the store and sell it, and you'll make a fortune because prices will have gone up. So that's a thing worth doing. But yeah. Let's exit. And it is not, no time has appreciably passed. And I still wanted to go to the other place, so let's just look around here a little bit more. We're not going to leave Wolfram altogether. Oh, hey, temple. Holy crap. It's just right here, isn't it? Okay. It has been an hour. We're going to take a break. I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes of commercials. We'll come back here and we'll explore what's going on in the Temple of Tith. That means I need to... You know what? No, we're going to put a save down because we're taking a break. It's like, right, there's a process I'm trying to follow every time I do this. Put a save down, take that break, leave it on this because why not? And we'll go to commercials. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. And we're back. Okay. I'm going over what was talked about while I was on break for the 3 minutes. So, yeah, so there's 3 games that kind of fall into the whole Betrayal at Krondor thing. Is that this game came out? They did a new version of this, Betrayal at Antara, Betrayal in Antara, which is not based on Betrayal at Krondor at all. It's just it's the same engine with some upgrades. I think it runs in 640 by 480 as well. I think it's all hex-based combat instead of being square-based combat, which is interesting. And so, but it has nothing to do with the Midkemia universe, is my understanding. And then somebody later on made Return to Krondor, which I believe was made with the blessing of the whole Raymond E. Feist Rift War Legacy set in Midkemia, like doing all that kind of stuff. But not the same kind of game as this, which is unfortunate because there's so many little intricacies to this game, like the game engine and the way that it plays, that I really like. And I would desperately, I tried to, when I got this to run, I tried to get it to do like Super Eagle 2X. Like I tried a few different ways to make it, because on my screen it's quite large. It's 1280 by 1024 or whatever it is. It's quite big on my screen, so I can actually like see it quite easily. Um, but of course, it really emphasized the anti-aliasing, and I was just hoping I could find something that could smooth out that anti-aliasing. And then when I found something, I was like, oh, not bad. And then you look at the game, and I'm like, oh, but the game now doesn't look as nice because of the smoothing. So, yeah. And now all these great posts that I'm not reading up as well. Oh, I see. Seventh Level announced their fully licensed sequel to Betrayal at Krondor, Return to Krondor, just a few weeks after Betrayal in Antara was announced. That's why these things came out roughly the same time, but they were different. So anyway, it's too bad. It would be really good to have seen the same kind of game come back. So we're at the Temple of Tith. I am going to frustrate you guys because apparently you're not supposed to be able to find the goblins this far out, and if the goblins are around in the High Castle area, we can take care of that as a quest. So we might just go back there, because why not? Because we can take care of it now. Why not just do it now while we're out doing things? All right, Temple of Tith. First, the flame was cold. It's always the flame in my mind, but it's the fire was cold. The natural flame. Teleport. So we're not gonna do that, but to get from here to Sung, which is the furthest south one that we found so far, is only 139 sovereigns. I mean, only, but that's also a lot of sovereigns. Really, to get out of anywhere is gonna from here is like 100, but that means that from here to the Arms of Dala is a super short run, which really like feels like a thing that was on purpose somehow, and that means that all I have to do is, when we start the next game, if I just go north to Sung, fly up to here, and go to Arms of Dala, and just put some dragon plate on whoever doesn't have it, I'm like, we're good to go, baby. So yeah, just got to do that. But then also can buy a ton of stuff and sell it in other places at some point, if we just, if that's the thing we want to do too. Is it faster than the dupe trick? I don't know. Is it simpler? I don't know. We'll see. Oh, Maricat says frustrate how? I believe I find it because it's like I'd like to have more of this in like this engine. I'd like to have more games in this kind of engine because of all the cool little intricacies of it. And the fact that the games that came after were either not in this universe, which I find like I want it to be the two things. It's like, because I've never finished this game, I want it to feel like I've that there's always going to be more, and it's why I never finish other games generally too. Like I've only made it to like chapter 3 really in this game, but it's like whenever I've played games, I always feel like, man, I wish there was like more of this game. I haven't finished Breath of the Wild yet, for example. I've gotten everything I can possibly do in that game, done all the DLC and whatnot. All I got to do is fight Ganon and try not to die. And haven't even seen what Ganon looks like. Haven't even been spoiled on it yet. And so I just got to go in there. And Heather has done it. I haven't. And so there's that sense of I just want there to be, anytime I finish a game, that it's over for me. I don't feel like it's more is coming. It's like I have now I can put that game away. I'm done playing it now. So with this, it's like I love this engine, but I want it in 1080p. And I don't want everyone dressed better than they are. I just want them to be dressed as good as they are I want them to kind of look the same way. I want the voices to be better. I want the music to be really nice. I want to see like improvements all along, but I want the gameplay and the mechanics to remain the same. I want like little improvements made to being able to like the text would be nicer if it was in 640 by 480, so it was just nicer to be rendered. I want a remaster of the game. I want what a lot of people want is I want their goddamn youth back. And in a way, that's for me, it's like, well, I have my youth back. I'm playing a game I never actually finished. But I'd love to see this rendered just a bit nicer, right? And Yeah, Arclight, I went and I looked at the dude's remaster. But the last time I saw him work on that for Lumberyard, he's like, I'm not doing a full remaster. I'm just doing chapter one so I can get a sense of what's going on here. And it doesn't even sound like he intends to really finish it. He just wants to learn how Lumberyard worked. I was doing all this reading and I'm like, that's great. I'm glad you're doing a thing. But I want someone to say, to pick this game up and be like, you know what? If we put $10 million into this, can we actually improve things? We have a bunch of stuff written. We have all the logic written and everything else. Can we make the engine look a bit nicer? Can we make all these other things look a bit nicer? Can we pay people to do it? And then can we resell it to people who remember this game and be like, yeah, it's the game you remember, but now it runs in 1080p. And it looks really good, but it's also much the same way that you play this kind of game. So anyway, so let's talk to the whoever it is here. Battle standards floated over their heads. I mean, yeah, as Jadison says, I also want an endless adventure. I kind of do. I mean, that's why I'm going the long way around it, because it's going to take a long time to do this. But in a way, it's like I want to be able to finish this game, and then I would love to see somebody say, well, then we can make another one of these that is more adventure in this universe. And maybe I just need to... I also said that I was not going to read any more of Feist's novels. Once I hit this one, I was like, read all his novels, get to this point, stop, play and finish the game, then go pick up the novel if I want to and read the novelization of it, and then read book 2 and book 3, which go along with it. So, anyway. Escorted into a room which looked more like a king's banquet hall than a sacred chamber, Locklear feasted his eyes on the hundreds of war banners and shields which were hung on the walls. The room's most prominent feature was a long table which stretched the length of the torchlit hall and was covered in statuettes which looked like soldiers. A priest sat at the far end of the table, rearranging a cluster of the bone figurines that were before him. Larger than even Gorath across the shoulders, the Father Patriarch looked as menacing a figure as any that Locklear had ever seen. This looks like a war council, Locklear observed, noting many of the figurines lay on their sides. Of a sorts, the Patriarch said without looking up. Scratching at his gray-streaked beard, he moved another piece, but seemed unsure of its placement, as if he were moving it on someone else's advice. Here, however, I merely observe. Others plan this battle. Whose battle? The Father Patriarch glanced up, his wolfish eyes fixing on them. This battle? It unfolds in the south of Kesh, near the Confederacy. I fear that the Empress Lakeisha's forces are far superior. Her dog soldiers will crush the rebellion soon, I should think. Locklear nodded as he looked over the lay of the battlefield. How do you know where everyone is? Does Tith tell you? The priest shook his head. If the war god wished to tell me, it would take all the enjoyment out of making my guesses. I have messengers arriving daily to tell me how things transpire. Thumping the hardwood table with his fist, he looked at another group of figurines and moved to rearrange them as well. Sometimes I am surprised. I see. I don't suppose you could tell us about what the Mordril plan in the north, could you? Locklear asked, a little nervous about the presumption. No, the priest replied. I would be greatly interested, but all those messengers of mine that I have dispatched to check have been killed. Since I have less priests than I have curiosities, I have decided to wait until I had either more of one or less of the other. Suddenly another priest appeared at the door to the chamber and hurried over to whisper in his superior's ear. Cursing, the Patriarch thumped the table again. I have other things I must attend to, the priest said gruffly as soon as the other priest had scurried away. I would offer you some redweed brew, but I have none to offer you, so you'll have to find some elsewhere. Good day, men. I have my own, in fact. So, for that dragon plate, it's going to cost 900 sovereigns if I wanted Tith to bless it. We're not going to bother that here. And we don't need to cure anything. So we're done. We have a warp point. And there is a bunch of... Oh, that makes sense. Restoratives. We have 24... 24. No. We don't need any more at this point. Oh, Krolera tells me there's like 20 novels that come after this story. Yeah, that's fine. I have time. I like his writing. I've never gotten to a point where I felt disappointed by it. Oh, and there's a hole here. Inside a hole is a bunch of arrows I don't need, and a shell that I should probably just not worry about. But here we are. So I did say what we would do is we'd get back on the road and go back towards Eld Point. Oh, right, but... we haven't been to the Wolf something or other. Where is it? There it is. Locklear sniffed, stepping in just inside the tavern's doorway. He detected the faint but familiar scent of lye and the more pungent aromas that they were meant to erase. Be a foolish tavern keeper who neglected to have a cleaning boy close at hand where men drank to excess. There is your bard. There is your barmaid. Quick, get everyone into barding position. I like that we just run into the room. Owen grabs his pitch pipe. We all gather around. We're all get ready. It's like, okay, we good? We good? Okay. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. $65 sovereigns. Not bad. We can talk, bard, exit, barmaid, finger, that's it. There's no in here. So we're gonna finger this dude. Where are you headed? Any place interesting? Freebooters. Yeah, we've done this before. This guy. Any place interesting? Freebooters. Okay, so both the same thing. Barmaid. Talk to the dwarf. The gambler shook his head. I'm afraid I've come to the end of my funds, he said. Perhaps when I've recouped my losses, we can play again. Luckily nodded. I would like that very much. Good day to you. So, yeah, if there was indeed... I imagine the gambling for that dude is available later on in the game. Turn that off. Turn that on. I'll turn scouting back on for everybody. And probably just camp for enough of the night. So what's funny, I went to look at the map web area of wow, we missed that. No, are you kidding me? Trap chest. Safe. I might not. Good to have some of that stuff, though. Like, nice to see that these things are here, but yeah. We must have walked up through another area. What the hell was I saying? This game apparently is available on Steam as well, and I believe you can buy the triple pack on Steam. You can buy all 3 games, both Betrayal games and also Return to Krondor. I bought it on GOG because they have that whole thing where they're they don't do DRM on games. I'm assuming that's still the case. Wonderful day, don't you think? Said the pleasant woman who came to the door. Yes, it is, replied Locklear. We were wondering if we could talk with you and your husband for a moment. I'm sorry Marcus is out hunting right now. Perhaps I can help you? Actually, we're wondering if you don't notice anything out of the ordinary around here recently. Well, now that you mention it, yes, Marcus had found 3 strange chests last time he was out hunting. Said they had some strange writing on them. Gorath, who had been distractedly digging at some dirt on his fingernails, perked up at the talk of the chests. Do you remember where he said he found them? Asked Locklear. The woman thought for a moment and then said, yes, I believe I do. Just follow this road south until you see a pile of rocks. Get off the road and go south a little bit more, then turn west and walk until you hit the mountains. The chest should be right there. They politely thanked her for the information and left. Follow this road south until you see a pile of rocks. Get off the road and go south a little bit more, then turn west and walk until you hit the mountains. So follow this road south, rocks, get off the road and go south, then turn west. South. Follow this road south until you see rocks. Get off the road and head south. Hang on. Then go west until you hit the mountains. Oh, okay. So does she mean to go this way? Ah, we wandered into a trap. Makes sense. Oh, God. Does assessment work here? Does not. Okay, so I think what we do is Locklear. Where the hell's the other red one? Oh, it's up there. Okay. So first thing we do is Gorath pushes this forward by 1. Oh, no, that's not, that was incorrect. Owen pushes this forward by 1. He can't. If Gorath pushes this again, can he walk past it? No, he gets hit. Great. For 60. Owen pushes this forward by 1. Locklear pushes it over 1. Gorath pushes... Gorath goes over to... God, I can't see. G for the grid? All right. He goes over here. Owen goes over here. Locklear rests. Gorath pushes this way. Owen pushes this up by 1 because that's going to then kill that thing. Locklear can just wait. Gorath pushes that. Wait. Pushes that. No, we're effed. Owen casts Invitation for 1 on that. Can he do it? No, he can't. Gorath falls. Holy shit, he didn't fall over. He is almost dead. Let's do Gift of Sung. Should have cast some of this other stuff on him sooner. We'll send him that much. Gorath just getting the hell out of here. Hoofa doofa. Yeah, he took a hell of a beating. Oh, you have maps. Thank you, Arclight. Let me just grab that. Perhaps. Copy link. Put it up here. Nice. And back to the game. So he needs to feel better. And what better way to feel better than to give him a thing and maybe we camp for a couple of days. That's pretty good. Maybe we camp until morning. That's doable. Did we get turned around? Oh, I see. Put down a bookmark. Word lock box. All right. Like dogs shouting at the moon, or armor worn by the trees, like a like a sharply spoken command, or a tiny vessel upon the seas. Yeah. Okay. Ah, some blessed armor with a number 2 blessing on it. And a repairable sword. Actually, is our sword repairable? It is not. Okay. Put that away. Two more. You can see it in winter, never in summer. Though it is as light as a feather, the mightiest mortal in the north can't hold it for long. Snow? T P B A. Yeah. Breath, that's really good. And again, a heads up to anybody who is playing along at home. You've heard me mention this before, so those of you who have been here before, you know about the whole deal. If you are going through the walkthrough and looking at these, I appreciate that you have the answers open. And please don't shout out the answer until everyone's had a chance to take a look at it, essentially. Weapon craft is still on for Lockie, so let's get him sharpening some stuff. And Owen has run out of place to put things. Sure, that'll be good. Owen's armor craft, we're definitely going to turn on. Nice. And abilities have gone up. That's good news. Every creature in the world has seen it, but to their dying day, they never see the same one again. Okay. T Y S P. Toilet shoe. Yes, that's. Thank you, Electra. Every creature in the world has seen it, but to their dying day, they'll never see the same one again. Oh, Snowflake. That's interesting. Nope, not gonna be Snowflake. Tomorrow, you say? Nope, it's not tomorrow. Yo! Oh, is it yesterday? Tomorrow was good, MTV CDM. Got me thinking that. Oh, hey, powder bags. And a goblin sticker. I still don't know what I'm supposed to use those for. Anyway, let's see. Weapon craft still on. Great. Let's polish that goblin sticker. We'll probably carry it with us, too. Powder bag. Powder bag. 96% emerald. Woo! Let's go, boys. Powder bag. There. Combine some powder bag stuff together. That's good. And yeah, nothing I want to dupe at the moment, so I think we're just going to leave it as such. Did Gorath take damage that would have damaged his armor? No. You get hit with fire, it does not damage your armor. Cool. I'm gonna go to like North Warden, I think, and sell some of this stuff. I guess I could warp out of here and go someplace and sell some of this stuff. Warp to the Temple of Killian and then run over to Yavin real fast. Whatever. You cannot dupe. You can only dupe stackable items. We are running out of space, so we're gonna have to sell some things soonish. Anyway, that's fine. We went through a trap. Gorath got his ass handed to him by a trap because I'm too stupid to figure out how to solve a trap. And God willing, maybe I can get to High Castle. Maybe there was an inn there. I don't remember. Northwest to High Castle. Let's see. So directly straight up. Okay. Yes, let's go in. Did the tavern have an inn? Because I don't think it did. Oh, it did. Yes. Yeah. Camp. Good mood. How about another night? Yep. There's a message for you. Reaching, he said, seeing Loglair. Reaching me at the counter, he produced 5 sovereigns. He produced 5 sovereigns. One of the guests that was here last night told me to give you these and tell you they're a gift from Delicon. Loglair froze his hand class over the coins. Anything else? No, that was it, the man said cheerfully. Just give them these coins and tell it was from Delicon. So how about spending a little of that newfound fortune another night here, eh? That will more than cover the cost. Again, the things where it's like, is something bad gonna happen? Nothing bad seemed to happen. Can't bar it anymore. What do we need for rations? I would say we need another 14. Share with party. So we've got 11, 12, and 12. I think that's probably fine because it's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. 14. Perfect. And yeah, that's it. Our abilities have increased. We haven't looked at them in a while. Let's have a look. Scouting's still on for Gorath. Haggling has gone up to 79%. We didn't even concentrate on it. And Armorcraft went up for Owen, which is great. I'll probably never concentrate on his weapon craft, but we should at some point do that. You might get more out of just might get more out of just like doing his own armor and not having to worry about anything else. Let's see here. So, there be goblins about, apparently. And the High Castle area is a big area. Yeah. Some nice people doing nice things for us. Ashes were cold. Ashes were cold. We had trolls around here before, right? So... Oh. Didn't see this corpse. Spoiled rations. Repairable broadsword. You know how it is. Spoiled rations, repairable broadsword. Let's just give that to... And we'll fix this. Cool. And no one was any the wiser. Oh. Alright. Some dudes to attack. Yep, I think that's good. I think that's good. Oh, okay. The enemy jumped back. I thought I could maybe do an end run around them. Maybe the close guy? Quarrels. Gorath is going to hit another dude. $37 is not enough to make the difference I need. Owen is in trouble. He moves over here. Shoots this dude in the back. Owen moves over here. Locklear engages. Ugh. Ugh. Owen moves. Owen moves. Where the hell is he gonna move? Over here. Okay. Gorath moves to here. Aha! Okay. So now we know who our other crossbow dude is. That's an archer. Gorath. Oh. Maybe he moves to attack this dude. Owen. Freezes that dude. Gorath takes care of the... Oh, maybe Locklear. Yeah, okay, sure. Oh, really? Okay. I think we might just have them. Let's find out what these guys are. They're goblins. He has a stamina of 28, which health and stamina in this game are like the two things, right? You attack generally for health first. I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother. There we go. Health 43, stamina 28, speed 5. We'll do it again. Speed 14, strength 4, speed 4, strength 14. God, I couldn't even imagine speed 14. I'd just be able to move across the map. Oh yeah, he's not... The guys are not doing great with some of that accuracy. Great, I got 5 dudes to pick through for bodies. All right, we're going to learn a whole bunch about our abilities Locklear's got space for 3. So he hands over his We use up the Dragonstone. As if some magic within the Azure Stone was awakened by Owen's touch, a dark fluid began to spill through a crack in the artifact's model surface and down the length of his arm. Pouring it over his armor, he treated it carefully. Its power is renowned for extinguishing swords set ablaze with magical flames. And now I can repair this even more if I want to. So it has been steel-fired. Gorath has too much shit on him. So we're going to drag that over to Locklear. We're going to give that to Gorath so he can put it on his. Excellent. I can repair this. Nice to see his defense went up. That's cool. Turn weapon craft on for him. Owen's going to repair his own armor. And that is now gone. Which means that he could probably give that. Owen could pass that to him. He could trade. Owen could take his armor and repair it, which hasn't been hit yet. This is repairable armor. To there. That is fine armor. Goes on the Gorath. He takes this armor. This is, I know, really weird, but that's what we're doing. They managed to repair their stuff. That's great. He's got a weapon craft on. Polishes his weapon. Gorath has his weapon craft on. Maybe we start to use this one up. Polishes his weapon. Excellent. Okay, I think we're good for the time being. So now we take that and we polish. Great. And we have no way of... We have too much crap in our inventory. I'll take that at least. What else? What is the thing that Spy Note can go to him? All right. Wait, hang on. Do that. I need to make room for 4 things. So we're just going to drag a bunch of these things out. That's 4. Now he has room. He can begin repairing stuff. That's going to be okay. Gorath has room for 1, so we're actually going to drag one of these things onto Gorath. So now he has room for a sword and has a whetstone. He has room for armor and has the hammer. Gorath will be fine. Yeah, I have no idea what the powder's for, Arclight. Like, I love Anthraxum where you're asking too, and it's like, yeah, I have no idea what that's supposed to be, what's supposed to be useful for, but more money. Repair. Great. Guy in the end has a Spy Note, and holy Jesus, he's rich. Okay. We're going to want that Spy Note, I think. Like, when you look at it, throw into face a victim, Lornas, Artificer of Palanque. And I'm like, is that literally just... Yeah, you can go into inventory during combat. Does it just... Apparently, it just, according to Negaratep, who I think spells their name backwards, it CCs them for many, many rounds. So it's basically just like pocket sand, throw it in somebody's eyes, it just hard locks them, but you have to be next to them to do it, which is probably handy for us now that I think about it. Probably very handy for us. Okay, we're going to come back to you. Very useful for Owen, actually, because if it means that, because you're right, it means that if uh we're gonna do a thing here. Might as well use up somebody else's hammer. Very useful for us because yeah, he can't walk around. I mean, he can walk. He doesn't have to use his stamina stuff. He can just basically, and also I guess if somebody's right next to him, he can be like, "Oh, powder," and just like powder a dude's eyes. Um, and then if that means that he can just start casting stuff because the guy's not gonna he's not being threatened, that's actually not bad. And that gains me back my ability to just kind of stand in one place and do stuff. Um, oh, powder bag freezes an enemy like Grief of a Thousand Nights. Okay, good. That's a spell you can cast. All right, well I'll keep them both then because we'll probably see if we can't use them a little bit coming up here. Repair. Not enough room because I grabbed another hammer at the moment, but also we already repaired it, so I don't need that. So we dump this back on here. Gorath has no room, but I don't give a crap about, can't repair a crossbow anyway because we run out of aventurine. Don't need those. Okay, walking away from that. Same guy. Same, no, 8394. You're just going to keep giving me Ruby's game. I mean, okay, polish that. Throw it in here. I repair something. Can't put things in a body. Well, then we're going to throw that on Locklear. So I can take this and repair it. And also take that ruby and throw away that. Don't need that. Same amount of things in the body. It's all good. And Spy Note, which now that we have in hand. Telecon, we have studied the defenses of High Castle in anticipation of your planned assault and have discovered 3 weaknesses which may be exploited before the attack. The trolls that live nearby may be used to disrupt the flow of supplies to the castle without raising significant suspicions about our interference. Many of the guards within the castle appear to be suffering from the wounds we have inflicted on them during our continual raids of the last few months. And it appears that there have been some problem in the delivery of the pay from Rillanon, and many within the castle are beginning to grumble about their situation. We shall report again when we know more. So now we just need to get back to... Nope. Go north. Go north. Oh, we are already quite far north. Didn't realize that. Where are we? Oh, we're on that leg. Okay, so we need to turn around and come back. And we probably need to look where we're going at this point. Just in case. Hell no. Chest is trapped. Locklear is so good at what he does. So what kind of... this has a 1% blessing type. And this is Dalatail Milk, which I believe we have so much of already anyway. That one's safe. Wait, no. See, it did that thing where it's like, oh, you're sitting on top of a chest. All right. Well, we're going to train lockpick. We're going to train lockpick. So let's get about the business. 55%. That's not going to help him anyway, but whatever. I keep hoping that sometimes these will pay off, but don't need that. Noble's Passkey, Noble's Passkey. Yeah. I think we have 3 spaces open here. I could let Owen repair it, I guess. This is what I've created for myself, is this little thing. These are not characters I made. These are the characters that come with that are built into the game. There are 6 characters in the game. You start off by playing these 3, and then throughout the course of the game, they will trade in and out as you play. Sometimes you don't even get all 3 to play with, which makes the game very challenging. Where are we? Ah, we go south of here and around back up. Okay. There's the stones. I realize it's late, but if I'm lucky, if I can see, I can kind of see. High Castle. Tavern. Inn. Yeah. Yeah, we should camp a little bit more. Good stuff. Bard? Bard. Bard, Bard, Bard. Enter! Kevin met them at the door. After exchanging pleasantries, they followed him as he led them towards... See, as he lead them towards... Like, isn't led as a verb in the past tense lead, past tense led, L-E-D? Anyway, led them towards the kitchens where he had been originally bound. Turning a wide corner, they entered a small galley. So, he asked, retrieving something to snack on, handing them all food to snack on as well. What have you discovered in your travels? Wordlessly, Locklear retrieved the note they removed from the dead goblin and handed it over, watching carefully as the Baron read over its contents. At last, he crumpled the parchment into a ball as he spoke. Delicon will have to be better than putting such an obvious plant over the bridge. He's trying to convince us to take a force across the river since we so obviously outnumber the meager forces there. We won't be falling for that trick, he said resolutely. Taking a large bite out of a joint of beef, he mumbled around his food. Reminds me of the tactics that Sirani used while I was serving the Lady of the Akoma on Kellowan. I'm sorry, the information we brought back wasn't of more value, Locklear apologized. Baron Kevin straightened. No need to be sorry. The message you brought back tells us that Delicon is operating this area. Perhaps it's his sights set on High Castle. At any rate, you deserve to be recompensed for your efforts. Before you leave here, I shall see to it that 200 gold are given to you. That's most gracious, but please, no false modesty, interrupted the Baron. Breaking into an eager smile, he slapped Locklear's back. It's not as if I'm giving away my own money anyway. I don't think Baron Troville would have minded. At last, they agreed to take the money and said their goodbyes. And I don't think we need rations. Yeah, we're kind of back in the same state we were beforehand. 13 all. That's good. Exit. There was a shop here. What did they do again? Right. There's a shop here. Do you like Grey Tower plate? 46 sovereigns and 8 royals for Grey Tower plate? I think no. I feel like no. Holy crap. Markup's a bit high, yeah. I mean, High Castle's in the middle of nowhere, so I can understand why flavor-wise they're like, it's not worth it to us to buy stuff at a reasonable price. So, and I'm not buying this here. We'll buy it from another store when we get to Northwarden, which is what we're kind of doing anyway. If I want to repair my armor, 87%, 81 sovereigns. That's not bad, actually. Boy, that seems... All right, 150 sovereigns. Whatever. Money's money is all that money's. Can he do this? Oh, he could do the crossbow. No. Wait, did he say 40 sovereigns for... Yeah, no matter what, crossbow's 40 sovereigns. Might as well get this one done. 3 sovereigns to get 100% swords just for the fun of it. Cool. How much to do this? 9 sovereigns for that? I have no idea if we'd make the money back on that. Yeah, every crossbow's 40 no matter what. Cool. We took that really expensive brooch, I think, too, while we're at it, so... Okay. And Owen has those 2 things, and that's fine. We have so much Dalatail milk. I'll have to remember that everyone has got to drink some before we do things. It's, for some reason, it's dark. Did we come in when it was dark? I guess we did. Anyway, we want to go this way, I believe. Work our way east. And we'll enter Wolfram. That's south of the Dimwood, which we don't want to do. That was the tent with the miner in it. Camp for another night. No. Wait a second. That's not the tent with the miner in it. Because this is going the wrong way. They approached the tent. Pulling back the flap lock, they took a moment to survey the interior. This tent has been lived in for some time, he said. We are in an area of the map that I didn't realize we were in. There are corpses on the ground. Christ, I'm not carrying around your shells. Do you have anything interesting? No. Well, while we're working our way north of here, back up to an area where I actually wanted to be. Are those our 3 boxes? Are we walking into a trap again? Kingdom soldiers will look like it when the headsman gives them a lop. For then, like it, they'll have a neck. For then, like it, they'll have a neck, but not a head on top. Something that has a neck, but has no head on top. A guitar? Oh. Oh, bottle, people say. That's what it is. Some Fatimore's formula, a heavy bowstring. We haven't had need of those yet. Steelfire. He's got space for it. Does Owen know Steelfire yet? He doesn't. Well, he's about to learn. Fatimore's formula is the strength. Strength potion, yep. And we have one of those. Well, Gorath gets to carry all of them now. Reads it. No Steelfire now. Steelfire is part of the invitation thing. That's interesting. Okay. Heavy bowstring. Several times thicker than the variety made for standard crossbows, the heavy bowstring had been manufactured by winding several cords of spun hemp around a central material and looping the ends for easy fitting to a heavy crossbow. Which, there's no heavy crossbows here unless there's one in one of these boxes. Another box. What is the thing with fingers long that grips our deadly swords so strong? What is this thing with fingers long that grips our deadly swords? And it's not actually swords, I'm sure it's referring to. So we have S-E-G-C. Well, I saw Gauntlet come up. Let's have a look. Yep, I think you're right. Got there, Arclight. Good job. More shit to repair. That's fine, though. Not sure how I'm going to get that whetstone. We're going to just transfer a thing over to here. And I need to borrow this whetstone to polish that. Nice. And a 97% shell is a nice shell, but I don't think it's worth it. Though I did want... Hang on. Gauntlet. Rotate these things to... Okay. There's room in here. Oh, we hadn't even turned off the other things yet. At least Locklear's lockpick is getting real high, and at some point I'll be able to get rid of that Amulet of the Upright Man, or give it to somebody else and let them practice for a while. Though I guess you want to fail more, so you don't want to carry it around with you, perhaps. Anyway. F it, we'll take it. I'll leave it in a bag if I have to. Another box. 6 legs, 2 heads, 2 hands, 1 long nose, yet he uses only 4 legs wherever he goes. 6 legs, 2 heads, 2 hands, 1 long nose, yet he uses only 4 legs wherever he goes. let's see here. W-S-H-O. Horseman, maybe? Horseman, horseman. What the hell do they mean 1 long nose, though, right? Like, it's everyone else. Everyone is fully healed, so I have no use for the restoratives at this point. We need to get something out of here so that I can drop something in there, which is way bigger. Just so I can, let's see, still selected. Just so I can do that, put it back, put it back. I think we're fine. No kidding. Doing a lot of work. So we travel northeast. I think this is the right route. Did we stop there? Scavenger's meat. Oh, wait. Maybe I can sell things here for a decent price. Maybe he doesn't give a shit. I don't need your weird-ass stuff. What are these goods you're giving me? I can't do anything with them. All right, fine. How about these shells? That gem's going to be worth more elsewhere. Let's get rid of the shells at least. Sure, 1 sovereign, 7 royals, whatever. That's made a little more room, which is not bad. Oh, right. I gave Gorath a healing thing because I wanted him to heal, and then I never actually used it. Okay. So now we're going east with the intention of making it to Wolfram. Okay, so here's Sarah Halfgate again. Leather leggings is what she wanted. We don't have those yet. We cannot help you just now. Very well, please come back if you change your mind. We'll sleep for the night. I mean, I guess I could run throughout the evening. I'm locked onto the Northwest to High, northeast to North Warden. Okay, so High Castle. Wait, we're going west. We want to go northeast. I want to go this way, right? Yes. We've seen this before. Did we not? We did. Okay. Sure. I like that there's stuff buried along the way in this game where it's like, you're probably not doing so hot right now. So we've left some chests and some other stuff around that if you're looking for things, if you're being that adventurous, then surely, Wolfram, surely that will be of interest to you. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. Okay. We're going to drop a save. That's fine. And have 3 minutes of commercials. And we will see you shortly. Hang in there. And we're back from commercial. More Play It Forward, playing Betrayal at Krondor. We have done some running around, which is great. That place, of course, was... I think because it's morning? That's because it's evening. And it's passing more into evening. There's the Wolfram sign again. Heading north out of town. That's cool. The Temple of Tith is north of us. We're making our way. We're going to get to Den Camp on the Teeth and then hopefully make it all the way to North Warden by the end of this stream. You know, for fun, plop down a bookmark. Eyes of Ishep. There's something ahead of me that I can actually just interact with. I wonder what I can't even see it. Oh, it was this thing. Well, gonna reload that bookmark. Yes? If not, I guess we're gonna reload the save before we stop for the whatever. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Were we here before? Are we going the right way? Okay, I think we are going the right way. Part of the challenge of this game, obviously, is that you have this wanting to explore everything. Means that you have to get off the roads and go looking for other stuff, or you have to be casting that spell all the time. It just feels like, oh god, that's like there's so much to look around for if you want to find things. But yeah, anyway, it does mean that you end up zigzagging a lot, and then maybe you run into stuff, which is great. But the front door was scratched heavily as though by swords. His own sword drawn, Gorath cautiously ventured inside. The weather-beaten exterior of the house was in better shape than the ransacked interior. What was left of a small wooden table and 2 chairs rested at odd, splintered angles throughout the house. After a brief search turned up nothing of interest, they decided to leave. Did thieves do that? Owen said. Gorath, there would be no reason for them to tear the place up like that. No, the evidence of my eyes suggests a small band of trolls recently paid a call here. Probably killed the owner and his family, too. I pray to Ishap they didn't find any women when they arrived. All right. The remains of a sheep lay just inside the door to the barn, its body a twisted, bloody mass of bone and wool. Owen stood open-mouthed, breathing heavily. It was obvious that the animal had been carved with a knife and that the carver was after its meat. What disturbed him was the brutality with which the act had been carried out. Blood had spattered everywhere, and there were bits of dried meat on the walls and ceiling, probably flung there by the knife as it violently hacked in and out of the defenseless creature. Other animals in the barn had met a similar fate. Gareth thought it strange how the sight of men killed in combat had no more effect than the scene laid out before him. After a moment's hesitation, he decided it was time to leave. If you haven't run into trolls yet, now you are afraid of running into trolls. And now we are in the mountains, so way more mountains, way more of these little nooks and crannies. And houses just around. Okay. Put that bookmark down again. Place is abandoned. Should be spoiled rations, I would assume. And a single use whetstone, which I have no use for. Drink from the well. We are not poisoned or anything. Sometimes it is important to check that. Wait, are we scouting? We are scouting. We are scouting. We are scouting. I know this is back the way we came, but I'm also just trying to cover all the ground. And it does mean that we burn up rations more and more, but... Oh, maybe we're at 10 camp out of the teeth already. We are. Abandoned house. Shovel. This is a big place. All right, maybe we will camp for the night so I can get up in the morning and have a have someone to talk to. Let's go down a little path. Shopkeeper, the grumbling magician. Buy sells only. Owen surveyed the shop. Though he could see no perceptible evidence the shop's owner had placed any special wards around his inventory, he was dimly aware that something unnatural at the doorway through which they had passed. In the pit of his stomach, he knew that thieves would find themselves the victim of some magical unpleasantness. So some interesting things here. Eliam's heart, slightly larger than the bald fist of a grown man, the hunk of reddish chalcedony was free of marks except for the obvious letter inscribed on its smooth face. In legend, such stones were said to possess the power to summon a Rusalki lover, though Owen gave little credence to the claim. Rusalki are like water spirits, and at one point in the game we are going to run into some. Glory Hand. Although glory hands are greatly coveted by witches of various ilks, Owen wished only to put the horrid thing down. He poked at the mummified form. Bits of yellowed bone showed through cracks in the blackened flesh, the only certain sign the hand once belonged to a human. Horn of Algon Cocoon. Reinforced the bell and mouthpiece with brass collars, Gareth struggled to imagine the beast from which the horn had been harvested. While possible to come from a mature dragon, no man alive would dare fight such a creature for so trivial a trophy. Puzzling too were the dog shapes carved on the horn. Infinity Pool. A pervasive feeling of malice radiated from the pendant. Within its depths, bloody points of light pulse, swarming from one side of the glass to the other as anything brushed against its featureless surface. 200 gold for some enchanted quarrels. Herbal pack. Sarig's Bane. A yellow-colored ointment, the Sarig's Bane, was stored in an odd-looking container, a simple cork cap suspended from the mouth of a glass tube, a large bulb made from stitched sheep gut. Commonly, it was applied to armor to counteract the effects of enchanted blades. And then we have some more formulas. Scrolls. Danon's Delusions. Bane of the Black Slayers. Night Fingers. And that's it. Stretch. So some interesting things that maybe we will find in other places during the game. Some spells if I need to buy some spells at some point. Not sure if I need those just yet. That is an abandoned inn. It might be also that there isn't a proper inn in this town then. We'll see. If I follow this to the end of the path, boy, that's ominous. Locklear knocked on the door but got no answer. Could hear movement coming from inside the house and had noticed while approaching it that there were numerous footprints of various sizes in the dirt. His mind snapped back to the door as a loud voice asked, "What is the password?" Locklear looked at Gorath, who simply shrugged, and then he looked back at the door and said, "Password? You can't come in without a password. Now get out of here before we run you through." Okay. No password then, my dude. Jesus. Nothing behind here, looks like. But interesting all the same. Okay. We have been to these two. We've been down little path towards a magician's place. Maybe this is our inn. Locklear knocked. Knocked near locked. A red-haired man opened the door and looked at them over cautiously. Apparently satisfied, he extended an invitation to his home and helped them fill their pouches with fresh water. "What can you tell us of Dencamp on the Teeth?" Locklear asked the man innocently. "What sort of information are you looking for? If you hear about that group down the road, I can tell you I don't think they were too successful." Locklear played along. "Oh, and why was that?" "Well," the man replied, "seems there was all kinds of activity up north. Got set upon by at least 3 goblin bands. Finally figured out how to kill them. Then the trolls got after them." "They found out how to kill goblins?" asked Owen incredulously. "How?" The man shook his head. "Don't really know. You'll have to ask them. I mean, we figured out. We just shot them and hit them a lot. You'll have to ask them. And one more thing. They want a password, or they won't even let you in. Tell them it's golden treasure." They thanked the man for his water and hospitality, then left. That also sounds suspicious. Locklear knocked at the scarred wooden door. Momentarily, a loud male voice boomed at them from inside the house. "What is the password?" the speaker commanded. "Golden treasure," replied Locklear confidently. "That is not the password. What is the password?" At a loss for words, Locklear paused. As the booming voice repeated itself, he toyed the idea of demanding entrance for kingdom business, but the image of a dozen armed men dissuaded this notion. "Now what shall we do?" asked Gorath, backing away from the door. If we've been here before, I don't see what would be served. Letting the guy know that he gave us the wrong password? It's like, that's not the password to get in, man. I don't know if you knew that. No one has lived in that room for some time. Aha. Lie. It's a tavern. Literally called Dencamp on the Teeth. Barmaid. We are low on rations, so we'll buy some rations here in a minute. We've gone up some levels, which is nice. We've gone up some health. Turn on our barding so everyone can get a bit better at barding. Bit better at barding. $55 sovereigns. That's pretty good. All right, what can we do here? In. Finger. Finger, finger, talk, barmaid, bard, exit. Finger. Man scowled. Ah, yes, what exactly do you want? Go find a bloody jongleur then and leave me alone. Finger. Mercenary demanded ale. Initially suspicious of Locklear, he began to loosen up as his drink took hold, speaking eventually at length about his colorful career as a Midkemian freebooter. So, how did you get the scar, Locklear said, commenting on the red slash which traced the man's jawline. Escaping from a Queegian press gang? Nothing so daring, the man laughed, speaking into his ale cup. Though I shall have to remember that one when next I have the chance to show it off at court. No, I simply ran afoul of a group of bravos who were bucking for a reward at the Macmordain Kadal. They didn't wish to have the competition, so we had words. Must have been pretty sharp words, Locklear said. What was the reward for? The man shrugged. Some monster the dwarves called a Brock Noor or something of that nature. Apparently they couldn't split up their time between trying to kill the thing and digging out a mine shaft collapse the thing had caused, so they called in mercenaries for help. Ah, well, we've done that already. Then finger of this guy. Table was cleaned. Filled up with a married woman. Mandied woman? Whatever. Talk! Locklear motioned to the man across the room. Sometimes I come to this place to drink and gab, the man said. Sometimes I come to gab. Well then, perhaps you could tell us, Locklear began hopefully. Before he could finish, the man interrupted. Today, I just came to drink. We will be able to talk to that man soon. We haven't even been in a fight yet, so that's good. We're going to buy 7 rations. Haggle. Share with party. It's 11, 8, and 12. 10, 10, 11. God, that math. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's all we can do. That's fun, though. Within the accommodations were humble. Several splintering tables had been jammed in the common room and arranged to accommodate perhaps 25 men. 30 if hunger pressed them. Greasy stains covered benches and walls, evidence of wild days past. And barding has gone up. For whom, I wonder? Gorath got better? Locklear got better? Oh, but Owen didn't get better. Well, I guess you can only be so good at the damn thing. A lady with tear-stained eyes opened the door in response to Locklear's knock. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were my brother. He's coming up to stay with me for a while. She invited him into her home and told him of her lover who had recently been killed by trolls in a border skirmish near the fortress of North Warden. Gorath asked gently, he was a soldier then? She nodded as a new well of tears pooled in her eyes. Friends have been bringing food, more than I will ever be able to eat. You may take some if there's anything left. Yeah, okay. Share with party. 2, 3, 10. 14, 14, 14, and 1. Great. And that is Den Camp on the Teeth. Oh, wait, not yet. A barn. Community barn at Den Camp on the Teeth was of the usual variety. The occupants were also a standard mix of cows, sheep, and chickens. Still, Locklear decided it would be worth a look around. It was obvious the barn hadn't been shoveled out in some time, and the stench was nearly unbearable. He was just about to leave when his eye spotted something shiny. He kicked aside some dirt and hay with his foot. The darkness made it difficult to see, so he bent down to take a closer look. It was a single gold coin that caught his eye, but now upon closer inspection he could see that there were actually 9 of the little treasures spilling out of a small cloth bag. Well, I guess I'll have to appropriate these funds for kingdom business, Locklear muttered to himself. Looks like they've been here for some time, so I'm sure they won't be missed. Or else someone has hidden them there. I was hoping nobody would find their stash of cash. Though why you wouldn't keep it at home, I don't know why you wouldn't keep it at home. Unless you've been robbed before. We camp. And that is Den Camp on the Teeth. Den Camp on the Teeth. There's another dead thing. Corpse? Goblin, probably. Corpse. Koltari Poison. Famed on Kelowon as a deadly slow poison, Koltari Poison would be of no use on a blade. Its effects too delayed to be of any use against an armed opponent. It could, however, be applied to foods or drinks to strike down an unsuspecting victim. So this is how you poison rations. Or ale. Or maybe that is a thing as well. Buying the cask of ale and then poisoning it is probably a possibility. I don't have any need of this. I'll take it. Maybe we'll sell it to somebody, but you know, it's also kind of like when you see something like that, it also just sometimes feels really obvious to me that it's like, oh, this is a problem situation. Side road. I do like that the side roads are marked in such a way that it makes them interesting to interact with. Someone was here a while ago. There's a house. Locklear sniffed the air. The smells coming from the house were heavenly, and they made his stomach grumble hungrily as he knocked on the door. An attractive woman in a brightly colored apron greeted them a moment later. She invited them inside and offered them some of the pastries she had just removed from the oven. They accepted graciously. My name is Thea Halfgate. She told them I'm the second eldest daughter of Flendel Halfgate. We met at Halfgate. We met Sarah Halfgate. She went on to speak of her late husband and of a certain soldier at Northwarden she now had her eye on. He is responsible for repairing and maintaining the weapons at Northward. Perhaps you can teach me these skills so I can make a good impression on him. I'll give you my husband's crossbow as I have no use for it. Will you teach me? Yes. Lesson began. Thea watched with great interest while Gorath told her about his sword and how he kept it sharp and in such good repair. After close to an hour, the lesson completed, she opened a wooden chest beneath her bed and retrieved a handsome wooden crossbow presented to Gorath with a warm smile of thanks. They thanked her in return and left. 100% medium crossbow, I believe, is what we were given. Stands to reason. We are going to sell that? Thanks for the crossbow. She takes out this beautiful crossbow. It's got like all this lovely stuff on it, and you're like, ah, yes, crossbow, yes. And you just like, this thing sucks. Just get your best Adam Savadan on and just be like, this bow sucks! Oh. You found a trap. Preoccupation dulled the senses, yes. Okay. So, Owen takes a step forward, destroys that one. Now, Locklear just waits for a goddamn second. Gorath moves forward once, blocks the gun, the fire emitter. This thing only shoots, this one here only shoots to the right. This one only shoots forward. You can ask them two questions. That means that Locklear should just be able to boogie on through here. Yes. Great. Let's put a proper save down before I click on that mine, because I have no idea what's about to happen. I don't even know if we should be going in there at this point. The door was unlocked. Cracking it open, Locklear peered into the formless darkness of the shaft. When no one replied to his shout of greetings, he turned to Gorath. No one down there. Locklear said, might be interesting to take a look around. Feel like blundering about in the dark for a few minutes? Yes! An hour passed. After moving through a long stairwell that seemed to twist and wind in unexpected directions, they found themselves standing on an earthen floor. Oh, new walls. I've never actually seen these ever before. Got a ring of Prandir. Only a few charges in it, but that's fine. Wait, have I seen these walls before? Maybe I have. Okay. Oh, man, that zooms out a lot. Okay. Could be a lot going on here. Like, this isn't just like a this isn't just like a mine. This is literally uh someone has a pit yawned before him. Careful not to edge too close and fall in. Locklear shook his head. The only way we're getting across that is to swing across it, he said, glancing up at a small hook in the ceiling. He nodded. Apparently we're not the only ones to face this dilemma. I think we could attach a rope up there. Should we try to swing across? Yes. I like that, the swinging action. Meanwhile, dudes. Now, I think I have lots of rope. I know we need one now to exit, or else we die. Not melee, casting. Defense, melee and defense. And Owen has 10 ropes, so we should be fine. The rope does not stay with the pit. Owen stumbled as Locklear shot a disapproving glance his direction. The enemy assumed a defensive posture, ready to meet the foiled surprise attack. Owen goes for the powder. Powder's this dude. Locklear can just straight up attack this dude. Doesn't. Gorath assesses? No. Gorath just goes to town. Shoots a guy in the back with a flaming quarrel. Does 21 damage. That dude tries to touch him. Unsure why. Powders. Got my powders. Oh, you can't use it while you're standing. Okay. So instead, how do I stop from using my powders? You can't. Escape doesn't do it. Oh, escape just misses my turn or rests or something anyway. Locklear goes for the swing. Does some damage. Gorath. Owen. Assesses. The troll. Okay, so we can drive these guys away if we need to. Owen can't cast because he's standing next to a guy. So that's definitely... it's good that it freezes a dude in place, but... Okay. And so now... Not bad. I bet it has. He shot a lot of arrows there. 80%. Pretty good. Troll carries what? Naphtha. Unlabeled and unadorned, Locklear still recognized the large ceramic container for what it held. Naphtha, applied to a sword blade and small amount set ablaze, would exacerbate the pain of any cut made with the blade, though the oil would quickly burn off a sword once applied. And his dragon's thing has already burned off there, also. Take that. I feel as if... There. And he can't do anything with that because he can't do anything with it at this moment. Turn those off real fast. Polish that a bit. And we are very full up on things. Right. I wanted to actually start drinking some of this stuff. Maybe also the spellcasting potion as well. Yeah, actually casting 116%, defense 73%. It's probably worthwhile that I give some of this to all the guys so they have something to have the whole time. We have one of these. Did we? Ah, that was a different spy note. Let me just put that on there for the time being so I can take this, give him one at least. And now everyone I think is we're pretty good. Take that back. What about the next guy? He's holding nothing. He has nothing. That dude has nothing. Okay. Great. That's a door. That's a big room. This goes somewhere else. We need rest. Also, yeah, you can only screw around in these halls for as long as you have rations, right? So there's that too. Is it just trapped chests? It's just trapped chests. Well, now it's active, so who gives a shit? If not for the regularity of its faceted surface, the wyvern's egg could have passed as a peculiar geode, a quartzite anomaly created by the whims of nature. As Locklear touched it, however, there is no doubt that something lived within its fragile shell. And spoiled rations. I feel as if, while being down here seems like a lot of fun, I am definitely going to, and I could probably just tank my way through this. I have a feeling. Oh, that would be good. I got a few charges left. I wouldn't mind another one, but maybe we won't worry about that for the moment. Maybe the thing to do, like that wyvern's egg, would be kind of a cool thing to pick up. Yeah, well, that's a no hallway, so we'll go this way. I wonder if the thing to do is to go back. That is a dead end, so that's good. And sell off a bunch of stuff so that if I find cool things down here, that I'm able to actually pick them up and carry them. Okay, well, we're here where the chests are. I've sent a Saragon. It's a word lock box. Might as well have a look, see what's inside. Neck but no head, arms but no hands, waist but no legs. M J E K A L I O. J A. You're saying jacket? Yeah, I believe that's what it is. Jackal, jacket. More wyvern's eggs, some money. 99% shell. So there's a couple wyvern's eggs in here. Somebody was camping here. Another word lock box. The carpenter left some wood, would not take it back. I saw some dust where he left it, but couldn't find his stack. Oh, sawdust. It's literally, I saw some dust where he left it. Ruby, ruby, rope. Okay. I'm leaving those here. I'm going to just go the perimeter of the room at least. So we can mark that room as being explored on the map. And what we know is that one right there. To the next intersection, it's going to be a left. A locked door. Nothing's moving in here. The trolls weren't literally it, were they? Or did I just pick the right way to do a lot of this? I mean, the trolls could be pretty tough if you were not prepared for them, I guess. Yeah, we didn't go... Right. At the end of the hallway... At the end of this hallway going south, I would turn west. Sorry, hang on. Need to turn south. And then turn west. Oh. All right. And for fun, Owen's going to take another one of these. And he's going to take another one of these. And Gorath's going to take one of these. Strength's at 36, which is a lot. And let's put that in the bag for now. That bag is now there briefly while I transfer stuff to Gorath. He's going to take one of these. And we're going to send... I'm going to send that over to him so he can send one of these over to Locklear. Locklear's going to have one as well. And you know what? Gorath's going to have one of those too. Because why not? We're going to send that one over to Lockie. He's going to have that. And then we're going to take that back. And I guess give it to Locklear. Nice. Precious uses of a bag. Everything works out. Now we're going to put bookmark down. Oh, there's a lot of them. I wonder if this is a tuning fork situation. Yeah, if you go to your bag and you don't have what you need, you lost your turn. I mean, now the fun thing to do would be to do flame cast now, but then again, I'm giving up a whole bunch of health and stamina for no reason. Cool. I'm mostly just doing assessment to see if that helps my assessment skill go up. Yeah, too many guys. Otherwise, I probably would have been fine being like, "Oh, it's 2 guys. We can fight them." Yeah, so I picked the right way to go immediately. I did not bother. I did not pick this room and then nearly get my ass handed to me. I picked the correct room. And that's it. That's, I think, the entire that's the entire map in here. Yeah, everything else is done. So now I know there's 2 rubies living in here and some wyvern's eggs if we need to come back and get them. It's why rope is also, I think, it's why it's the consumable item the way that it is. You use it up by doing this stuff. So the tuning fork scares away trolls. Trolls do not like it, so they scamper, which is funny because it means that at that point, if they're leaving, if you have stuff you want to try to do to kill them, they're just gonna apparently keep trying to leave. I don't know if they'll actually come back and engage with you. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's like, is that what you want to do if you're trying to attack stuff or do things? But I think it's kind of like, I think it's fine to do that because ultimately, does it really matter that I scared away some guys so I don't have to fight them? That's probably better for me. Oh, Ring of Prandur's still active, and there's a poisoned rations. Yep, that's what happens. Some bushes aren't restorative bushes. Some bushes have poisoned rations. Ah, another trap. But now I can see way better, so that's cool. Pass through the trap that has been disabled, blocked by that spear. It doesn't look like the little thing that it hits, the one side of the gate trap. It doesn't look like that's blocking the it's blocking enough that it should make a difference, but it does apparently. More wordlock boxes, isn't that great? These are fun. Doesn't live without it doesn't live within a house, nor does it live without. Most will use it when they come in, and again when they go out. Door? A duel. It's a duel. Lots of rations. Lots of rations. I don't think we need those. No, we don't. This side of a wolfhound has the most hair. Oh, the outside. More rations. More rations. Rope. Restoratives. Oh, my ring just ran out. She has tasteful friends and tasteless enemies. Tears are often shed on her behalf, yet never has she broken a heart. Taste is in there twice. People who like her Tears are shed on her behalf. Onion. Ah, everyone else get an onion. This is going to be a plot point, almost assuredly. I found 3 boxes full of rations. Camp in the middle of this trap, why the hell not? And I feel like we're getting very close to North Warden. Let's have a look at the big map, or GPS. We are almost at North Warden. It's the one thing that is a little too bad about the game is that when you discover stuff, you because this is an old game, you don't just auto map stuff. You don't just mark things, but you have 2 good maps in the game to tell you where you are. Music drifted on the wind, at first believing himself losing his wits to the grind of traveling. Locklear paused, then picked out the very melodic strains of The Shores of Kars, coming from a clump of trees near them. Abruptly, the music stopped as an unhappy-looking young man dropped out of a tree, his lute slung over back. It's Tammany the Minstrel. I've just come from North Warden, and I don't feel like playing for him anymore today. My fingers are numb, my mind empty, my stomach grumbling. Calm yourself. We haven't come from the castle. We're just travelers wandering through who heard your music and thought we would see who is responsible. So, what is a songbird doing among the falcons? Expiring, I fear. Do you know that I can sing the love theme of Relia and Tryphus? I can play most of the Rise of the Kingdom cycle, and I know by heart the whole of the Tears of Valorensis. Valorensis. But these men, these monsters, only have one song they want to hear, and they ask for it over and over. The Old Man's Wind. A song about eating beans. Why do you stay here, then? I haven't the choice. While sharing a cask of ale with a friend, he told me of a small village where the wine was exceptionally strong and the ladies exceptionally thin. Once sobered, I resolved to take myself to this wondrous place and avail myself of its pleasures. To my horror, I found that my friend had mixed his metaphors, and I was laid upon by a lady who could tear the teeth from a bull bare-handed. Before I could extricate myself from such humiliable circumstances, her father, a baronet of some note, exiled me here to entertain for the Baron Gabbo, or else sacrifice my head. Surprised he didn't have you beheaded. Well, his daughter was less than maidenly, and secondly, he hadn't his fealty to pay for the year. As the Baron Gabbo is fond of music, I still think it's because Cabot is pronounced that way usually, so Gabbett is fond of music. They said that I should make even the debt. I see that you are a noble of some note. If you could do me a favor, perhaps you would ease the stress of a minstrel's life. Perhaps. What can you want? A length of light bowstring. While it's not immediately useful to me, I found a resin that can be applied to it that will allow me to restring my lute. I have a feeling that I may need new strings soon. As luck would have it, we have one with us, and I imagine we can part with it. A favor for a favor, then. Over the past few weeks, there have been several sows stolen from North Warden, so I wrote this little song to commemorate the event. It's silly and short, but I hope you like it. It's called North Warden Pigs.
In the north of Moradel are vicious to a man. Get too close, they'll run you through any way they can. But no, at night the kingdom's safe with Warden at the pass. But count your piggies by the dawn, the soldiers lose them fast. They squeal with joy and owing to light, these piggies are the realm. But count them up, head and all, the soldiers lose them fast. Count them up, head and all, the soldiers lose them fast.
That's part of the CD audio. That's why that sounds so good. Thank you, Tammany. That was most enjoyable, but I am afraid that my companions and I must be off again. Things to do. I bid you farewell, then. Come and see me again. If ever I come to North Warden again, you can be assured of it. Good day. And by listening to a song, our barding ability went up. And I didn't have any choice. It just is now a thing that happened. So that's fine. And I believe if we keep going north, we will just end up in North Warden, I think. Or am I missing North Warden by... I think I'm missing North Warden by a hair. Almost assuredly. I think this goes up into... Oh, wait, no. North Warden might curl around. Oh, that's worrying. Take that key. Don't need those. Where are we here? Oh yeah, okay. This is the road to North Warden. You know, dead mortals, Moradel soldiers, just lying on the road. Nothing to do with that whetstone at this point. North Warden, do you think we should go in for supplies? Yes. There's apparently also some seeing Negareta says that event is only here in Chapter 1, which of course they don't expect you to do, but you could. But also, there's a combat here for 3 goblins that is apparently only available in Chapter 1 as well. So there are some that are available here, like up to about Chapter 3. A lot of these we haven't had fights of so far, but yeah. Let's see, what can we do? Shop, look, palace, exit. Shop, look, palace, exit. Let's try look. Locklear strolled into the trees. Seeing a suspiciously ordered pile of leaves, he prodded its depths and was relieved to find out that no one had left a trap behind. Still curious, he continued to burrow. Found a couple royals. This is a very good location if we wanted to try to dupe. Not a bad means of getting that back up. Let's actually do the corals while we're at it. All right. I guess I can take that one and we can sell that somewhere. Shop. The Iron Monger. Everywhere Locklear looked, polished metal gleamed. As much a temple to war as any temple of Tith, the cramped shop offered a startling variety of weapons and armor. Buy, sell. So again, goblin sticker though. 60 sovereigns for that. Okay, Great Tower Plate. Guy was going to offers nothing. 75 sovereigns. It's not nothing. It's still something. It gets it out of our inventory. I could definitely stand for getting some of this stuff out of our inventory at this point. 84 sovereigns and 5 royals. That's great. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Actually, you know what? We can probably repair some of those things. Let's see what we got going on here. Yes, a lot of the interesting things. Chapels, armor, and weapons. And then, okay, so they don't have any inventory in here. That's fine. We're going to sell this. 114 sovereigns, that's great. We're going to sell this. 97 sovereigns, that's great. We're going to sell this. 60 sovereigns, that's great too. Sell that emerald at this point, might as well. 231 sovereigns, oh well. Can't haggle on sales. You know what? F it. Accept. That's great. Get some things out of our hands, which means that we have more room for other stuff. All right, sell that maybe. Yeah, you know what? We'll do that. Excuse me. Now, I think everything else is fine. I want to hold on to this 1% ruby. It's going to be fine for the time being. Rathorius. This game is very cool. It is not difficult to get running. I bought this version we're playing right now from GOG, GOG.com. It actually is like $7 Canadian, and you get both this game and the spiritual sequel. I think it's Betrayal and Antara. In Betrayal and Antara you get. I don't think you get Return to Krondor with this. On Steam, you could buy it as well. I'm hearing people say in the chat that Steam doesn't custom configure all the DOSBox settings. You'd have to do that stuff yourself, but GOG went ahead and custom configured all this stuff so it works. This is running in DOSBox 0.74, so I have no idea how often they actually update any of those things, or even if it's worthwhile then to update the version of DOSBox that's running this. Maybe it would be. Everything seems to be working fine, so don't really need to. So we're gonna go looking at Chapel's Armor and Weapons and turn on haggling. Now the thing is that we're at 11 o'clock already, which means I'm gonna have to take a break here, and I'm still wondering whether I should go a little further. Let's haggle for this book. You know what? No, we are gonna go further, which means I'm gonna take a break right now. And you guys are going to have to watch some commercials for a few minutes, but that's fine, because that's fine. And I will see you in a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. More Play It Forward, more Betrayal at Krondor. We're in North Warden, and I'm about to start haggling for I think I set up the haggling. Yes, I'm about to start haggling for this book. All right, they got 8 months without shoes. My girls are strong. They got thick feet. Save us about 60 sovereigns. That's pretty good. I'll accept. All right, Chapel's Armor and Weapons. Now, the way Chapel's Armor and Weapons works is that if you have both of these selected, they go up quite a bit, or like 6%, something like that. If you only pick one, they go up 7%. But I'm like, well, why wouldn't I? Because if you have none selected, then it's not as good either. And it's like, that seems also weird. It's a little too bad in a way that like I like how the guy who runs the who arranged everything on the Betrayal at Krondor help web thing. He really thought about, I want to divide all these things up and put things in different places. It is very Web 1.0, and he did a great job. It's just also like I wish it was a bit better than it was, but okay. So first time, neither selected, they'll both go up 3%. Either selected, that one will go up 4.5% is what I'm getting from this. Both selected, 3.75%. I feel like it's probably better to just get them both on the first time out, get that 3.5 out of it. So I think I will just do that. Can I read it from here? I can. If not for the crude diagrams of the company, the text, most of the book would be largely incomprehensible, the majority of the words misspelled, inaccurate, or so obscure that Owen had never heard of them. Despite the book's shortcomings, he was able to learn quite a bit about the basic repair and maintenance of weapons and armor. In a crude addendum, there was also a hastily scrawled list with useful information. It has been found that certain substances can be applied to armor to countervoid the effects of poisons used by an opponent. In the following list, the first item of a pair can be used on armor to counter effects of the second item of the pair. Silverthorn Antidote and Silverthorn Poison. Sarek's Bane and Silver Spider Poison. Flame Root Oil and Naphtha Ignited Blade. Dragonstone and Steel-Fired Enchanted Blade. Sarek's Bane and Frosted Blade. I think made by Alphaphane's Icer. So Sarek's Bane's good for counteracting poison and also Frosted Blades. And I guess the Silverthorn Anti-Venom is more about for the Silverthorn poison, but I think you can also just eat it if you need to. So Clerical Oilcloth and Clerical Oilcloth. Killian's Root Oil and Killian's Root Oil. So those two counter each other directly. Let's see. We drag that to here. Let's have a look. Owen went up to 25 and 60. That's nice. That he was at 22, so he went to 25. That would mean that he got his 3% plus whatever else was in there. let's do the same for Gorath. Now, this book is not it. Which of these books? It's probably the one that's 99. Oh, that's Accounts of Shimada Garrison. We'll have to do that one in a second. Same thing again. Gorath goes up to 76 and 65, which is nice. Locklear, Armorcraft, Weaponcraft. Same thing. Yep, gets his boosts. Now, Accounts of Shimada Garrison is assessment, which might as well do all three of these guys. Accounts of Shimada Garrison, right? Yes. Primarily, the book was about battle, the majority of the text concerning itself with various famous skirmishes which had been fought between the members of the kingdom garrison of Shamata. Wow, I did that weird. Shamata. And the famed dog soldiers of the great empire of Kesh. Perhaps more valuable was the wealth of information which had been gathered on different fighting techniques, each highly detailed with illuminated diagrams on stances, swings, and other issues concerning themselves with the act of fighting. Also included in the book were a number of smaller anecdotes about standard life at the garrison, the amount of food consumed in 1 month by the soldiers, the cost of weapons imported from the empire, and the difficulties in purchasing goods when political swings were taking place. One story which particularly took Gorath's interest was the mention of a potion called Redweed Brew that was a major import of the garrison, and they claimed it temporarily enhanced how well these soldiers fought in battle. So that's Accounts of Shimada Garrison. Pass that along. That's it there. Same thing. Give it to Owen. Owen reads it. Excellent. So now, give Gorath all the books for the time being. Well, 53%. 24%, he was at like 12 or something like that. And 64%. Meaning that every time we use the assess command in battle, it will tell us more about the enemies we're facing. And this book, Accounts of Shimada Garrison, has a 20% chance every time we read it of upping assessment. So a 1 in 5 chance isn't bad. Chapel's Armor and Weapons only has a 15% chance of going up. Like the haggling text, Strategies of Trading, has a 1 in 4 chance, a 25% chance of actually going up. And it might actually be the most valuable one if we want to max out our haggling in a big damn hurry. The other books, like Thithel's Bird Migrations, is only 8% chance of going up. Kalem's Dialectic, which is the arrow thing that we just made Gorath read entirely, had 20% chance, but he only went up like about 6% out of reading it 100 times. So yeah. Books are fine, but you're having to spend a lot of time concentrating on, is this worth it to get to where I need to be? If you bought the book, you might as well read the whole book, but if you're not gonna get anywhere with it, then maybe it's not that worth it. Anyway. Right. So we have great stuff. Finest things we can be walking around with just for the time being. And do we need to repair anything? 6 sovereigns to go from 99 to 100. I could repair that for 40 sovereigns. Why not? Sure, why not? Everything's great. And we need to rest because we've been reading books and shit. Let's see. Palace. Left his legacy to North Warden by a baron who cared more about leisure than practicality, the Great Hall was still maintained with a military discipline, no corner of it left unscrubbed or cluttered by the unnecessary. Exploration area. Oh. There's nothing to do in the Great Hall, because there's probably no story points that take place here. I can only exit. North Warden. A treacherously narrow path wound its way up to the front gates of North Warden Castle, scarcely wide enough to allow 2 men to walk abreast. Cool. not going to worry about that. So North Warden, not a bad place to go if you need some stuff, but not great in the larger scheme of what we're doing either, though, right? Like, and if we, there's a hole there. I guess we can put that in here. Got so many of that which I'm not using at the moment. So we could go back for the wyvern eggs, but I don't know why. Like, I'm largely not convinced they're going to be of any use to us, and they might be a focal point of something later on. And we probably can't go west, or it's probably not even worth trying to go west at this point. It'll probably just bump us out saying, you don't want to do this. I'll just save. Tell me I can't. Wow, there's a lot of dead Mordel around here. I guess just never. I don't. We have all the rope we need, don't we? Maybe not. Whatever. There, I have 14 rope. I think I looked at him. Maybe? No? Doesn't matter. Everyone's been eating poisoned rations. Turn that weapon craft on. From 10% to 82%. Oh. Oh. Gorath took a water pouch out of his pack and leaned it over the well. A strange smell invaded his nose and he sniffed it again suspiciously. It seemed to be coming from the well. He leaned over even more and tried to focus his gaze on the water below, but could not distinguish it from the murky darkness. As Owen approached, he held up a hand to stop him. I do not think this is ordinary well water. Are you going to try to drink some, asked Owen? No! Putting away their water pouches, Gorath noticed something he hadn't seen before. A small dead bird next to the well. I believe we have made the right decision, he said. That also explain why all these guys around here are dead, and a lot of them appear to have poisoned rations. Okay. This goes north. All that is up there is controlled completely by Moradil, and we would be walking straight into the enemy's hands. So that is the gate by which we do not pass. That is okay. No boxes or chests along here, it seems. That's fine. Am I head back to North Warden? I am. It's like, boy, that looks familiar. And we camp again. Now, we are probably we're headed south. And I believe this is on a road we've already come down before, so this will be fine to go this way. But I am going to go in behind here because I was like, boy, you know what I could really use is some rations. Not a lot, just a few. 13, 12, 11. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. And now I understand why these boxes are here. Probably designed by the game designers to be like, well, we're not going to give you a place to buy stuff. That's a good point, Arclight. Yeah, it does feel a little different. It does feel like, oh, this is a lot more, it's a little more worrying around here, right? We should go around this way because we didn't go that way before. So I'm going to go back up a bit and get it fucking ambushed like a jack off. Oh, you know what? I have just the thing for you, my dude. Powder! 69, Naphtha, right. You put Naphtha on a sword. It kind of overpowers it a little bit. just a hair. But holy shit. Yeah, 98 damage. If you connect fully. Or if they're not wearing decent armor. These guys were not wearing decent armor, but whatever. That, and yeah, why not? Oh, and then that, sure. And then armor craft. Didn't turn anything on for the other guys. Weapon craft is on. Armor craft. There we go. Weapon craft. Excellent. Weapon craft. Still can't get up to 100%, but that's fine. Moving on to this guy. Has all the money. Armor craft. Weapon craft. Not worried about those things. It's fine. Nice. Good to see his weapon craft has gone up. Click on that dude's head. Take his money and his normal ass rations. Why not? Fix that sword. Once you hit 100%, ability, you can actually restore your own stuff to 100%, which means you never have to go to a repair guy to get your 100% if you want your 100% again. But let's be fair, 99% is great. The amount of modifiers, like the amount that the 100% is great because the modification I believe it makes in terms of calculating how much you're getting hit is very little, if I'm to understand it correctly. Because of the different 199, but it can make a difference. So one of those things where it's worth training yourself up to a point where it's like, yeah, I can actually get to 100. Maybe that will actually make that 1% difference will make a difference. Owen was whistling, suddenly aware his traveling companion had grown irrepressibly cheerful over the last few miles. Locklear turned in favor of the squire with an inquisitive stare. Why the sudden lift in your spirits? Locklear asked. We're heading towards my uncle Corvallis' estates in Cavill Keep. Assuming we keep heading this way, we are going in that direction, aren't we? Yes, we are. Owen talked as they traveled, pointing out familiar geographical features. He related a good deal of history about the region's history. That's awkward. He related a good deal of history about the region's history. It should be he related a good deal of the region's history as they pushed through a hedgerow. Soon they found themselves back on a major road. And now we are in right near a barn, it looks like, but we are at Kenting Rush. Yeah, Arclight, I kind of hope that the 9900 end up being the same thing as well. That would be really cool, because then it would not matter at all. Ah. I was like, what is that building? Temple of Kahuli? The fire was cold. Teleport. So 151 to get from Kahuli to Sung. 184 to the Temple of Killian. Like, the fast travel in this game, I just really like how elegant the idea is of, we're going to make these mandalas, and that's going to, you know, be your means of fast traveling. And at the time, like, in a lot of RPGs, like, fast travel was one of those things where you just, like, you had a spell you could cast that would say, go from here, like, wherever you are, you can go to here, you can go to there. The idea that your fast travel is locked to an area and has a reason to be there because that's where the temple is was like, oh, okay, that's really cool. All right, talk. I did click talk, didn't I? A scream echoed in the temple. Alarmed, Locklear made to find the source of the shout, but a robed priest halted him by laying a hand on his chest. Do not be alarmed by the sights and sounds you find in the Temple of Kahuli, the priest said calmly. Know that justice is being dispensed with. I'm going to stop doing that. Within our halls. Still shaken by the sound, Locklear looked to the priest. What of our request to see the lector? He is busy at the moment, the priest said. I am afraid he cannot see you today. Another scream rang through the courtyard. And here we're back at this again. Blessing this, 900 sovereigns. We'll decline that. There shouldn't be anything else in here, and there isn't. All right. We are on the way to Kenting Rush. That might even be it over there. What does the map show for us? Well, we can make our way to this area. It's going to be houses and shit. The guards advanced. Responding to an unheard call, they brandished their weapons, keeping an eye on Locklear while simultaneously forming up to prevent entering into the house. Tell the prelate to stay down inside, one of them shouted to an unknown companion. We may have an ambush on our hands. We're not gonna talk about this, are we? Okay. Both these guys seem worrying, but I don't want him coming closer to me. Locklear engaged. Oh no. Oh, it's gonna be a bloodbath. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Guys, I just want to say, don't. Just stop. Oh, you actually got a hit on him. That must have felt good. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about you, but there was a point there when I wasn't sure in which way this was gonna go. Logby said to Gorath, wiping perspiration from his brow. Let's get moving. Ah. It kind of warped us to the area of some sort of fight. Don't need any of those. Fine. Boy, is this Kenting Rush actually already? Maybe it is. Ah, okay, that's the tavern or the inn. Can't go in there yet. Okay, so no one's talking to me yet. We'll go to the shop. What's in here? Jewels, keys, rings. The shop was littered with cast-offs, forgotten trinkets, and lost items which few would want or need to reclaim. Here it seemed that tarnish and rust were the things only prized, the items to which they clung of only secondary value. Aha! A place to sell fancy dancy rubies and shit. Ring of the Golden Way. The ring was a simple, unadorned band of gold which fit awkwardly on his finger. Worth only a small crafter's fee and the gold used in the forging, the ring was still charming in its own humble way. What mystified him was the pure way it warmed when someone moved near him. I'm pretty sure this helps scouting or stealth? Probably. I mean, it's having to keep a thing in my inventory to help with a thing that I don't know if I really give a shit about. I love the Gildas Thorn, by the way. Gorath puzzled over the heavily lacquered wooden key. I could be wrong, but I believe this is a Gildas Thorn, he said. As I understood it, the dwarves were amused that Serenity traders used wood instead of metal to manufacture their goods, and the dwarven name for the surrounding keys stuck. That is a plus to scouting. Thank you, Arclight. Yeah, major thing about with the Tsirani is that a lot of their stuff, except for things that absolutely need to be made out of metal, like swords, basically everything they have is made out of like treated lacquered wood. It's which is again kind of the thing you see in a lot of like, you know, Asian armor, like samurai armor. Let's start with that. Is like lacquered woods and slats and stuff like that. You know, using that instead of just full on plate or, you know, making chainmail or whatever. It's like, if you're going to make metal, what are you going to do? You're going to make weapons out of it. So yeah, diamonds are expensive. Locklear grinned. While there were many Keshian thieves who would slit them from throat to belly to gain the brilliant full-cut diamond, he expected there were just as many ladies of the court who would attempt much the same, though using weapons of a more persuasive kind. Women be diamond shopping. Emeralds, rubies, the brooch. Amulet of the Upright Man, which we know we have one already. It's doing its job. Yeah, Virtue Key was for, used to be for chastity belts. Anyway, we're going to acquire some of those keys later on, so that's why I'm not buying extra keys. Also, we can pick a lot of locks. So I'm not that concerned about that. Oh, there's even more places to go. The smell of fresh bread filled the air as Locklear knocked on the door. It made his stomach grumble hungrily. After a short wait, they were greeted by a short man with a big belly. He had flour on the side of his face and the bridge of his nose, which he wiped at with the back of his hand. On the side of his face and the bridge of the nose with the back of the hand. Yes, what can I do? What can we do for you? He asked. Locklear noticed a woman inside the house. She too was covered with flour. We don't mean to interrupt, he said, but we smelled the bread and thought we might come by. Sorry. We have an exclusive arrangement with Tabar at the Candlemaker's Grin. If you want something to eat, you'll have to go there. It's just down the road, so you shouldn't have too much trouble finding it. Now we really have to get back to work. So someone has come to your house to buy bread, but we have an exclusive agreement with the tavern, so you're going to have to do that. Anyway. Pigeons cooed inside the house, lots of them. Locklear waited patiently for someone to answer his knock. After several seconds, a freckle-faced boy came to the door and showed them inside. A pleasant-looking man stood near a large wire-lined cage that seemed to take up almost the entire room. It was alive with pigeons, and the man was stroking a small one, trying to coax it back inside. Come on now, he said gently. Come on, get in there. The bird refused to cooperate. Ahem! Locklear cleared his throat, causing the man to look up with surprise. The bird flew out of his hand and began to circle near the ceiling. Blast it! These birds are no better than kids. Won't do a darn thing you tell them to. In the corner, the young boy smiled. I hear talk of a magic spell called Thy Master's Will that is supposed to command flying beasts, but I think it's more for wyverns than anything else. You need one of their eggs too, I guess. He wiped his hands in a towel and had the young boy fetch them some fresh water. After a brief conversation, they left. So yeah, I don't even think we have a copy of Thy Master's Will yet. I don't even know if we're going to bother, but it means having to carry around an egg, and then when you're in combat, I think is the only time you actually use it. No one seems to be about. Now that might be because it's also whatever time of day it is. This is Kenting Rush, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So I want things to open up for me. So let's wait till midday. Is anyone here now? No. Can I go to the tavern? Yes. Wow, there's a lady. What can we do here? Lady, talk. Barmaid, bard, exit. Innkeeper, lady. All right. Innkeeper. 13 sovereigns. Woof. 3430 we've got on us. 3417. Did we have a good night, he asks. Excellent, he said. I don't know when I've had better sleep. That was, of course, when I could get to sleep. What were you doing down here, skinning cats? Deep blush spread across the innkeeper's face. I had company. It's been a while, he said sheepishly. You can't hold that against the fellow, can you? So can I sign you up for another night? Yeah. Click that, lady. Ah, I was hoping we could talk. This is the woman who's like, meh, meh. Why, she said, and like, yes, I thought as much. Learn to talk, dude. Talk to this other woman. What do you want? Locklear's got no game. He can't just talk to women. He cannot do it. We have lots of rations. We're fine. I mean, I could top out. Sure. I'll just give them all to Owen and we'll just figure this out. 14, 14, 11. Here, you have one. 13, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, there we go. Give you one. Everything's even now. Talk. The gambler tapped a deck of cards. For a small wager, I'll play you Linlan, he said. Winner takes as much as he bets. What's your wager? Is this the dude? No, there's another dude later on who does stuff. Well, whatever. I'll bet 25. Ruthia smiled on them, scooping up his shining winnings as graciously as possible. Locklear deposited their 1 sovereigns with as much discretion as possible. We have better luck in the future, Locklear said with a nod. The gambler shook his head. I'm afraid to come to the end of my funds, he said. Perhaps when I recoup my losses, we can play again. I like that very much. Good day to you. We ruined that dude. All right. The game is Linlan. Let us bard. Oh, I took the entertainment fund. So apparently the gambler and the entertainment fund are identical. Good. That was good. Now this little thing ends with a bunch of dudes coming out to try to kick my ass, I think. Frankly, I'm not interested in getting my ass kicked. We can swing around there, though. That looks interesting. Who knows what's over here? I mean, I know what's over here. There's a box. It's buried in the back. It's a word lock box. We love these. The one who made it didn't want it. The one who bought it didn't need it. The one who used it never saw it. Ah, TAF kits. Oh yeah, barding's still on. I'll have to turn that off. TPIC. The one who made it didn't want it. The one who bought it didn't need it. The one who used it never saw it. TPIC. AROH. Oh, I'm seeing coffin. Yeah, that's it. Let's make some money. Another medium crossbow. It's repairable. Can't do anything about that because we're out of aventurine. Weapon craft back on. As we'll turn his armor craft on. Ep5. Okay, let's get scouting back on for these guys. And keep going for a walk. Where the hell are we? We are like in some wilderness. Another box. No. Christ, no. It is safe. It is a chest. It is not a safe. All right, let's read the spy note first. The priests of Kahuli, whosoever it is that has stolen my pants, may he be eternally at the pot. GL Esquire of Havenwood. Is it good luck to steal money from... I don't know. Ah, what's in the stump? And this. I guess we could probably take that back to Kenting Rush, but... That was the box we just opened? This is a different box. Holy shit. This is just boxes in the wilderness. And we're going to close in on a barn. We're going to avoid a barn entirely. All right. No one has lived there in quite some time. But where's the barn? Ah. Chicken clucks greeted their entry. Locklear pulled back the door of the barn and took a look inside. It would appear normal, but still it bears investigation. All right. Well, we need some of this. So time to make some of this. Is that going to be sufficient, or should I make more? That's probably enough for now, I think. I don't need to carry a lot of that around. That's east, which takes us, I think, back towards the place we were coming from, yes. So let's not do that. Let's work our way west. This is neat. Like, this is, you know, now we're able to explore like a more wilderness type area. The road is there in the upper left-hand corner. That's kind of cool. And a house on the road. Locklear hesitated. Noticing the finely engraved sign above the door, he read it aloud. David Tatum, scribe. Among other things, replied a strong voice. Historian, philosopher, mathematician. I have my nose in everything. Emerging from the building's cover, the scribe casting knowing look at Gorath as he continued. Right now I'm investigating combat tactics. Perhaps you would be interested in helping? And what would we profit off it? Odin said quietly. Information. And the scribe replied, you talk for an hour, then I talk for an hour. You pick the subject. Intrigued? Combat tactics. I don't know. Like, I feel like I just don't know what he's going to train us in. It's like, am I going to get accuracy melee up? Am I going to get, like, other stuff up? We have in time, we have things to do. What is he actually training me in? Is there even a way I can figure that out? Hinting rush. Oh god. Okay, I just discovered something. The guys who attacked me, that they just keep coming back over and over again. When you kill them once, they come back again, but their stamina is 0, which means you basically just get to keep hitting them over and over. And it's just a repeat combat, which means that their weapons and armor also get worse over time. And if you just hang out, you can beat the crap out of them and just improve your combat skills and casting skills because they just get worse and worse at attacking you. Oh, neat. Okay. I just found out what it was. It's scouting, which I had on anyway, so I will probably do that. I'll probably talk to him and raise my scouting skill. Yes. Yeah, I don't know if I want to hang out and grind, though, is the problem. Like, it's like, I could hang out and grind and get my, all the other things up, but I'm just like, I don't know if that's a great idea. Scribe listened. When last Gorath had exhausted himself, he asked the man what he might know about assassins operating in the kingdom, and he discoursed all he knew on the subject. That's about it, the scribe said at the last, and folded his hands in his lap. Helpful. More than you know, Locklear said. I think we'll now have a better chance of spotting ambushes, but it's time we left. The scribe nodded. I have things to do as well. I have to find out what's happening with one of my assistants, so I may be gone for a while. Good traveling. And our scouting has gone up by 63, 57, 31. Yep, that's pretty good overall. Yeah, there's a lot of houses along here because we avoided them all. Now I got to go back and look in them. The hammering inside the house offered a perfect musical counterpoint to Locklear's rapping on the small front door. Presently, a young man sporting a long beard answered the knocks. Yes, can't you see I'm quite busy here? They looked past the man and saw a large block of granite, a beautiful woman emerging from a stone like a delicate flower opening to the sun. You're carving a woman? Owen inquired. The man shifted his weight from his left to his right foot impatiently, then said sarcastically, No, actually, I'm trying to cover a very pale, still woman with a big rock. With that, he rudely closed the door in their faces. Locklear turned to leave. Artists! He spit angrily. That was worth nothing as a conversation. Oh. Locklear was weary. When he had first left Krondor to study under Captain Moyet for a while, he had thought it would be a simple matter of soldiering for a few months, then returning home to Land's End or back to Rutha's court. But for more months than it seemed he could count, he had been ambling around the kingdom in the Northlands, accomplishing little that he felt would be of value to Prince Arutha. What was more, now he had Gorath and the squire from Tibern in tow, and a responsibility to get them all alive to Krondor. Feeling a tug at his sleeve, he revived from his wool gathering. Beside him, Owen was pointing to an advancing figure. Navon Dusando. So far from the prince's court, I'm surprised any from your part of the world even knew Kenting Rush existed. Have you come for business or pleasure? Locklear. Chance has had a greater part in delivering us here than anything else. We're only traveling on our way from Lamut. We had a trading appointment in Romney. Ah, the City of Guilds. I've heard that there is some difficulty there. Something to do with the dispute between the River Poolers and the Glazers Guilds. I've even heard rumors that the Guild of Assassins has had some involvement, but I could hardly credit it. Hopefully the affair will come to a peaceful resolution soon enough. You'll excuse me for staring, but it's been some time since I've seen an elf in these parts. It is even more passing in common I should meet one so heavily armored. Thorgath is working with us to negotiate a new trading deal with elven goods in the Eastern Kingdom. He trades in armor, so it's easier to transport it this way rather than carrying it in a satchel. Ingenious, no doubt. Thorgath, you say? The name sounds familiar in a way. Perhaps we have met before. We have never met. You are mistaken. Of course, I will accept your word on the matter. I must have only met someone who resembled you. To other matters, as you are all visitors to Kenting Rush, and visitors are also good business, Are there any things I may be of assistance with? Actually, well, no. When I first saw you, it occurred to me to ask you something, but whatever it was has utterly slipped my mind at the moment. Will it bother you if I come and ask you about it later? We have a few things we need to be attending to elsewhere. Go on then, I have a few things to do myself. You're most gracious. Thanks and farewell. Locklear was about to knock on the door when suddenly he straightened and with a broad smile on his face, jumped back to survey the entire house. I know this place. I stayed in this house a year ago while journeying to Northwarden to see a friend. There's a beautiful young lady named Cylindra who living here. We got kind of friendly over supper. In the middle of the night, she snuck into my room. He knocked on the door, beaming with anticipation. A moment later, a beautiful young woman answered. Yes, can I... Locklear? A smile of recognition crossed her lips, but was quickly replaced with an expression of great concern. I am... Before she could finish her sentence, she was brushed aside by two rather large hands, one of which curled into a rather large fist, and hit Locklear rather hard in the face. When his vision had cleared sufficiently, the woman stood over him. I'd like you to meet my husband. I've told him all about you. Took no damage. Click again. Yeah, considering the circumstances, don't think it would be a good idea to come back to this place. We should leave. This place is abandoned. Grabbing 3 royals. Alright, let's work back our way back along the road to where this was. I think we did this, right? We've been to the shopkeeper. Yeah, jewels, keys, rings. Yeah. Well, I just happen to have jewels. Yeah. So, weird thing I noticed, we had this light bowstring in our inventory when Tammy asked for it, and apparently, we never gave it up, which is weird to me. Thought for sure we would have given it up, but I guess we didn't. I don't see anything else. That one ruby, we're holding on to that 1% ruby, by the way. I'm not getting rid of that yet. Excuse me. Nothing else we need here. So that means we've done a lot of those things. We've been to that house. That house was abandoned. That place is abandoned. Oh, and rapped on the door with the back of his hand. Coming, hang on just a second, said a mirthful voice inside the house. Okay, here I am. The door opened wide, and a large bearded man joined them in front of the house. Owen cleared his throat, then said, We'd like to talk with you if you could spare a moment of your time. Now, the large man was eyeing Gorath suspiciously. Wait a minute, he said, a broad grin erupting on his face like a volcano. Leroux hired you, didn't he? The man rocked back with laughter. Oh, this is going to be the best joke yet. Still laughing, he retreated into his house, refusing to answer any more questions. What? Huh? Oh, we got greeted warmly, then got swig of ale and friendly chat. What just happened? All right, he thinks something's happening. Great. Ah, the tavern. Scent of Lie. The Dagger and Star Tavern. From exit, we have talk, barkeep, bard. Barkeep. Dormammu, I'm here to bard. Dr. Strings. Anyway, bard. 65 sovereigns. That means I've taken all the money from the gamblers, I have a feeling. So we'll finish in this tavern, and then we'll put a pin in it for the night, I believe, is what we'll do. Talk. Yep. Gambler can't deal with us. This guy just wants to talk. I normally enjoy talking to travelers, but Taylor, I just enjoy my ale. Very well then, perhaps we'll return another time. Talk. Again, same thing happened. These guys are probably a lot more, will tell us a lot more when it's important. Barding has gone up. Not bad. It's funny because in a way, like at this point in the game, I almost feel like, man, if I find practice loots anywhere, it almost would just be, if I'm like, rather than turning all the things on all the time, I should just turn on the barding, let the guys play a couple practice loots, get to 100%, and be like, they're done. I'll always have someone in the party who can bard. I think at that point, feels like anyway. But yeah, with that, we're gonna put a save game on, and we're gonna wrap it up for the evening. And I'm sure there's more things that I could be doing here in Kenting Rush, and we'll get to them, but not tonight because it is midnight. It's been 4 hours, which is longer. Christ, this might just be what I end up doing. Let's just not think about that yet. And instead, let's thank people who have shown up tonight. If you're watching this on the YouTube VOD, you can go over to our main channel, the Loading Ready Run channel, and you can subscribe to the YouTube memberships. That's a way to support us monetarily, because money keeps the lights on and feeds us and pays for all the things we need to pay for in order to, live lives as we do. Also, that is also true about Patreon, patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. And we've been getting new patrons all the time and people adjusting their amounts. And you can also, with Patreon, you can also do it in a lot of local currencies these days, not just US dollars anymore. So if that's something you want to change, feel free and do that. And of course, everybody here on Twitch, because the subs and the bits is also a major part of our income. And we appreciate that you guys do this for us. I'm just glad that you're also here hanging out. So many of us here tonight. How many people are in the chat right now? Or just 249 viewers. That's great. That's awesome. Love to be talking to over 200 people. And I'm glad. I hope you guys are having a good time watching the stream as it is. It's a bit of blast playing it so far. When I did this before, I did make it all the way to Krondor. The first time I did this whole run, I managed actually to get all the way around and make it back to Krondor. The problem, of course, with that is I did so many things that I wasn't looking in the guide to figure out what actually happens. And so I was like, oh, I should be cautious of this, or I should be doing X thing, or I should be leaving this thing in this location, or I should be doing this other thing. And now I have the guides open so I can actually see it all. And because I want to give you guys a good show, I also want to be able to play through it properly for myself. Want to do it right. So let's thank everybody who subbed and bitted tonight, starting with Floofy Noof. And Alpha Mayako cheered with 100 bits. Thank you very much. Getting King's Quest flashbacks from this area, Alpha Mayako. Charanth 182. Goombill. Charanth 182 is brand new. You just subscribed. Oh, thank you. I don't know if you're still around or not, but thank you. I'm not going to have chat open to see what you guys are going to say while I'm reading these things. So anyway, Goombill, Commander RC rated. Thank you for doing that. Nyala with their 18 months there. E-Block with 300 bits. Ferrobender with 300 bits as well. Congrats on the shot. Oh yeah, the shot. E-Block saying 300 to think this game is almost 30 years old is amazing, right? There's lots here, and there's lots of games that are this old. Like Ultima apparently is a blast. I was never really into Ultima, but Ultima apparently is a blast, and it's from that era. And people made so many giant ass games that fit on 5 floppy disks that just had so much for you to do. That was the way of things. I am 999,000 for 3 months. Thank you for coming back. I really do appreciate that. Xantos69 with 50 bits. Captain Wolf returns. So does Maelstrom Solanor. And Teutonic back for 89 months. It's so many months, Antitonic. Luminaire P showed up to raid when I think we were on break, but thank you for the raid. Planeswalker Go-Go back for 18 months. Chucky D0203 for 4 months. Evil Spoons 983 for 34 months. Sir Morik for 38 months. The Hakofo for 55. Thermos for 66. And thank you to all of you who did that. That's it for the evening. It's you want to know what's coming up next? Well, on Fridays is Checkpoint Plus. So I'll be in this room again, but Heather will be beside me. And Paul will be in between us, but in his own house, and that's weird. We'll be talking about all the checkpointy news that we did, including all the things that we didn't actually cover in the in the stories that you watched in Checkpoint. Hope you did enjoy Checkpoint. It was a lot of fun to make it this week. Always keep in mind that whenever I'm doing stuff, it's it's like I'm doing stuff. So this is I might just be being weird. So don't always buy 100% what's coming up and what's happening in the show usually, right? Like in a recorded show. And then after that is Friday Night Paper Fight. And Saturday, I don't know if there's streams during the day on Saturday, but during my evening, I believe I return for Play It Forward some more because I get Sunday and Monday off. Sunday leads into Rhythm Cafe, followed by Is This Your Card? Monday would normally be Dice Friends. I can't remember if that's on the schedule currently or not. But that's fine. And And the Tuesday is the big Tuesday with all the stuff going on, 4 streams in a row. And I think it's 4 streams in a row. Anyway, but thank you for all of that. If you've had a good time tonight, tell your friends. If you haven't had a good time tonight, I don't know. This whole stream's going to be a real slog for you then. So have a good night, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay inside, stay away from other people. If you can stay inside, stay inside. And get that vaccine. If you got it available to you in your area, please do. And if you don't have it yet, hang in there. Looks like so many places are going to make it patent free, or at least not enforce their patents. And that would be lovely. Hope to hell that you all get your shots in the arm. We want you to stay healthy and stay safe. Have a good night.